playing before that Blue Chew ad and repeat? Remember that weird shit?
That was weird. That was weird. Like the intro to the show, because we are live and it was on delay. But guys, thank you so much for joining us for your Ring of Honor and Impact post show. Thank you so much for being here. Reg and I were talking about some of the StreamYard glitches I had where it kept defaulting to a Blue Chew ad as if it was some sort of rip on me. But I'm just trying to run a broadcast over here, people.
That's it.
Guys, there's so many ways you can support us, okay? And you know all of them, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I'm going to remind you to go to Fightful Select because there is some money scoops up there for you. Some good Forbidden Door scoop skis happening over there. Man, Forbidden Door shaping up to be something real fun. Real fun. But guys, you can also support us by getting your super chats and your humper chats. If you want your question or statement read on air. And if you could please, the easiest, best, free way to support us, just leave a thumbs up on this video. It helps people find us in the algorithm. ROH and Impact are like the little brands that they could use your support. So could,
in any way, any penny, any minute, anything you got, they need it.
100%. But we're going to dive into ROH. We're back in the studio. The vibes are good. Reg is here. Reg, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I was very excited to see him back in the studio. They had some developments. We told some stories here. Just everything we want in this show usually, you know?
It was on a scale of 1 to cinema, like an 8. I don't know what happened, but somewhere very early in you joining Fightful, I was like, I think I'm unintentionally this guy's little sister. Like, I don't know why.
I don't know where the transition happened. But it happened, and you know, I've just accepted it as this what it is. You know,
you're really fun to just poke the bear with. But we're gonna get into all things ROH. We had a pretty decent episode today. Still have some complaints, but nothing too egregious. More along the lines of, where are my tag team champions and why aren't they defending their titles on this program?
They do not want them to be partners for some reason. I do not get it.
I know, it's very odd after the big to-do about getting these belts onto a team of brothers. Well, why the heck can't they work together? But what we did get tonight was a whole heck of a lot of fun. And we started with, if you said it was your match of the night, I wouldn't argue with you, man. Christopher Daniels and Kyle Fletcher. I am blown away by some of these kids that Tony Khan keeps kind of stealing from New Japan. It feels like there's some good leases happening over there with New Japan. Kyle Fletcher being a 24-year-old and this good already just absolutely boggles my mind. I don't know.
Makes me mad.
Isn't it just like insane?
I'm mad about it.
I'm never gonna be that good at anything I do, and you're this good at it already. But what I always love about stuff like that is the only way you get that good that quick is hard work. Like there's just no other. That guy is studying his ass off. He's working his ass off. And I love to see that. And there's so many great young wrestlers out there right now, man. It's crazy. But this was a really fun match. We had Nigel back on commentary. Everything felt right. But, I said it on Twitter. I'm never whiter than when the Aussie Open theme hits. I'm immediately
banger,
dancing.
super duper banger, though, man. I'm telling you.
A Mikey Ruckus original, which I did not know until recently. But ultimately, we get some nice work in here. We get the Angel's Wings getting countered into a back body drop, and Kyle Fletcher hitting a beautiful hammerlock pile driver on Daniels for the win. Just some really nice work in here, man. I loved the Koji clutch spot with Daniels and Fletcher. Commentary just doing this great job of saying, like, if you have the experience of Daniels, you always know where you are in the ring. Like, Kyle Fletcher has an idea where he is in the ring, but right now, he's getting choked out. He's not like, he's a little disoriented. Really, really good stuff. Also loved commentary talking about the changing of the guard story that was kind of built into this. Of you got this young kid coming in, Christopher Daniels, obviously a couple years on Kyle Fletcher, just a few.
Just
but talking couple, about like
1 or 2,
just a few. Yeah, them trying to kind of keep their old guard intact and be able to keep their spot with these young upstarts. Kyle Fletcher with this third win should be in line for a title shot, according to Caprice Coleman. Lot of great work in this opener. Just little things. We get like a really nice shoulder tackle from Fletcher and immediately a drop toe hold from Christopher Daniels. Like very clean, logical wrestling in this opener. I loved it. What did you think?
I thought it was great. I think Christopher Daniels has been wrestling longer than Kyle Fletcher has been alive at this point. If he hasn't been in there 24 years, he's very close to it. So that's insane to think about. When Kyle Fletcher didn't even exist, Chris Daniels was out there taking bumps, and he's still taking bumps here in this first match, looking like the veteran that he is. When you have a wrestler like Kyle Fletcher, who we have talked about as being young and amazing at this, you want to put him in there with wrestlers like Christopher Daniels, because Christopher Daniels, like they say on commentary, has been in the ring for so long, been in the ring with so many different opponents, always knows where he is in the ring, knows every counter to every wrestling move ever. He is just like a perfect guy to have a match with, and I'm glad they gave these guys some time out here. Kyle Fletcher has been on a run. You know, when his partner Mark Davis got injured, it was kind of deflating to us as, you know, tag team wrestling fans, Ring of Honor fans, New Japan fans, everywhere that they are. We were like, damn, they're on a run. But Kyle Fletcher really took that ball and was like, well, you know, I can still do this. And everything that he's done since Mark has been out has been phenomenal. And he was on display right here against Christopher Daniels. I'm really happy to see Christopher Daniels being featured on these Ring of Honor shows, because he's such an inaugural part of Ring of Honor. And he just helps, as a veteran, all these young wrestlers look even better. So it's been super fun. He's already interacted with Samoa Joe. He's already done so many fun things with Matt Seidel. So to see him in here again with Kyle Fletcher is like, yo, Christopher Daniels is back, man. Still got that eye all crazy, though. I guess that's forever at this point.
Some of the legends do. Look at Shawn Michaels. I mean, there's not going on, but... To your point about his tag partner, Mark Davis being out, like, I think the bummer with that is the timing with Forbidden Door. Like, yes. I think seemed like they were heading to some story where they were the New Japan champions. If they had AEW on their sites, they could have been doing some really, really fun work cross brand there. But he might be back in time for it. It didn't sound like the most severe tear in the world.
I think they said like 6 weeks maybe or something like that. Something not super long. So it's potential that we could get a last minute addition on the card. I hope that's the case, because that would be great. But, you know, rest up if you need to. Don't rush back.
It does feel like AEW is going through this phase where it's like they've got the injury bug a little bit, but they're also trying to keep people fresh for, like, we got All In and All Out and all of these things coming up of Jamie Hayter's working real banged up. Like, let's make sure she's good to go for the biggest dates, right?
Totally.
Like, things
they
like
got
that.
Bryan Danielson, like he's only had like one match in the last 3 months. They just got him like we got Okada. We don't want anything bad to happen to this guy. Have him at the commentary table. Nobody touch Bryan. Get him get out of the way. Get out of the way.
Jake Salazar with an interesting one, saying that he would love to see Fletcher become television champ until Mark Davis comes back. So I think that's not a possibility, because we have the ZSJ Samoa Joe story, and this last set of tapings was going on basically at the same time as Dominion. So unless Zack Sabre Jr. could clone himself, which I think would be great for wrestling, I don't think they're going to be able to expedite it. So the only reason I don't think that could happen would be because I think we're probably going to head towards Zack Sabre Jr. and Samoa Joe either at Collision or I'm guessing at Forbidden Door, since we've got Okada and Danielson. But I would love to see Kyle Fletcher strapped with something solo at some point. If Mark Davis is this close to coming back, I don't think they need to do it super soon, but he is fun to watch on his own. And he also really gets tag team wrestling when you watch him with Mark Davis. Like, it's great stuff to see. So some more love for Kyle Fletcher. I love seeing it, man. I love this show because it's always like everybody's rooting for ROH. Nobody's like, well, I want, like,
no. They're like, they want the young people that are coming up to really come up.
Hell yeah. Ready for Kyle Fletcher versus Konosuke Takeshita dreams. Well, before we get there, I'm out here peddling the Jeremy Lambert story, okay? Cinnabon, before we even talk about Takeshita, Cinnabon needs to answer for their support of Takeshita. They have not condemned the crimes.
Listen, They might be on the bad guy side. Have you seen what's happening in the last 2 weeks, Kate? They're not going to come out and condemn this guy that looks great. They're like, what do you want us to say? He looks great standing next to Don.
Silence is compliance. And I want to know if Don Callis is getting free Cinnabons. Okay? I need answers. I don't like
know. Yeah. Even with that, I don't know if Don's getting the free Cinnabons. He's pretty awful.
That is true. That is very, very true. Mm-hmm. But a great opener here. I love seeing it. I just love it feels very spirited to ROH. It makes me happy when we see matches like this. And if you want an awesome Christopher Daniels feature, Charlie at Wrestle Purist, I think her name is Charlie. Her handle has Charlie in it. I'm not even fully sure if I know her name. Wrote a phenomenal feature, a phenomenally well done feature on Christopher Daniels, spanning his whole career, kind of leading back to this ROH path. I strongly recommend it. It was very, very well researched.
That's awesome. I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's really great. Really, really great. But good stuff here. And we move along to actually Christopher Daniels' tag partner thus far with Matt Seidel and Zack Clayton. I'm not sure I like this Jersey sucks chant that broke out in Florida of all places.
I know. You guys can't say anybody sucks in Florida. You guys just save it.
I'm not trying to get political, but it is Pride Week. And we were the first to codify, okay? Yeah. New Jersey was the first state to codify. Just saying. All right? No Jersey sucks chants. We're a weird little state.
Look, I'm going to be biased right here. If I'm going between Jersey and Florida, Jersey, what's up? Like, nice to see you guys. Like,
thank you.
Easy. It's not even a competition.
See, that's what's up.
Florida.
See, I see you in the chat. Jersey sucks, though. It does not. It's weird. And we definitely could not see anything outside of our windows yesterday. But that's Canada's fault. And I blame Joel Pearl for that. But we got a Jersey sucks chant because Zack Clayton's bringing the heat from the shore. All right, I get it. Not the biggest Zack Clayton gal in the world, but this accomplished what it was set out to accomplish, right? Matt Seidel is still going for that TV title. He said, I don't care about Zack Sabre Jr. and his cunning little rules, all right? He's not making the rules around here. We're going to talk about who's making the rules around here in a minute. But ultimately, Matt Seidel beats Zack Clayton with the Meteora, coming off the top rope, getting the pin. We got a post-match promo saying that he still wants his shot. I like where it's going, but I also am kind of like, well, yeah, of course you want a shot at the TV title, but you didn't win anything to get there. Like, the Ring of Honor thing is kind of like, you got to get your victories to earn your way there. And I'm like, but you didn't pin Zack Sabre Jr. or Samoa Joe, so tough nugs, you know? So I like the idea of Matt Seidel getting a title shot. It seems like they're headed in that direction. I just need a little more creative work to get there because Ring of Honor historically has been a wins and losses based storytelling place, but this is perfectly serviceable. He might have to get other wins to get there. Maybe he has a proving ground match or something like that. But justice for New Jersey. And what did you think of this?
Yeah, I think kind of with how the Ring of Honor Television Championship has been defended, I'm not so upset about how he just, won a match and was like, yo, I want to fight Samoa Joe. I actually kind of like it because I think way too much in wrestling, there's not enough people just being like, I want to be the champion. It's always like everybody's just so happy to be here. And that was a great victory. It's like when they have the post-match UFC fight and they're like, who do you want next? And they're like, I'll take anybody. No, you can't say you'll take anybody. Say you want to fight the champ so you can fight the champ. And I'm like, whoever they'll give me. Nah. Call the champ out so we can know your intentions. Matt Seidel did it right here. And later in the show, Tony Khan made a little bit of an announcement about next week and Matt Seidel. So I think it might have worked. I liked where it went there. Zack Clayton, on the other hand, like I said last time he was in this ring, just a guy, not really. There's some people I know will never do it for me, and he's one of those guys. Like, he could, no matter what he does, like in 10 years, I'll still be like, oh, Zack Clayton. Yeah, all right. Cool.
It is kind of the like, hey, he's engaged to JWoww or married to JWoww, right? Like, the most notable thing about him is his fiance.
Like, you got to bring JWoww if you want. Like, if you want any interest here, if JWoww's there, I'm like, all right, okay, I might be into this. But if you're just like, that's my girl, not enough for me.
She, I feel like, would make a tremendous valet. I'm not gonna lie.
1,000%. Yeah, she'd be great.
Bring JWoww to ROH. Start a petition. I'm here for it.
Jersey Shore crossover. Come on, there's money in there.
That's right. If we're gonna be defending the tag championships on AEW, we should be having Jersey Shore on ROH. Like with this feeder system, Snooki, a WrestleMania legend. There's history.
Shit, that cartwheel moonsault type deal. Like, come on, we're lit out here.
It wasn't bad, honestly. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
We move along to Dralistico and Willie Mack, and I gotta say, if you don't love Willie Mack, you're the problem. You're the problem in that situation.
Easy as that.
Guy rules. Some really good stuff in here. That kick from Dralistico with Mack catching it up on his shoulders with the TKO was ridiculous. The kick up into the moonsault, fantastic. Ultimately, I love Willie Mack taking flight, taking out Dralistico and Jose, busting his move out there, but we got a distraction finish here. From Jose, the assistant. Not sexy when you do things like this, Jose. You got it? All right? I don't like you interfering with our matches. But he hits Willie Mack with a low blow. How dare you, sir?
Rude.
How dare you?
Rude.
The incinerator knee for the pickup of the win here. I thought this was a whole bunch of fun. Willie Mack is just contagiously over in the most delightful way and a hell of a wrestler. Like it's a blast of a combination. What did you think?
I like this match tonight. I was trying to think if this was my favorite match of the show because this turned into something. There's been some controversy, as they say online, with Dralistico's brother, and he exactly what Dralistico did in this match. I'm like, that's how they work, dude. The thing that you were mad about Roosh for doing, Dralistico did this. Phoenix did this at the end of the show. That's how like these luchadors be working. They're like, I'll fight like this. Sometimes I'm gonna no sell a little bit because that's how we fucking learned it in our lucha wrestling school. Sometimes I'm gonna just flip it, even though I'm supposed to be selling my leg. It doesn't matter. I'm a luchador. I don't care. I'm a cheat to win. And I love that Dralistico brought a different fire out of Willie Mack because at first he's going in, doing the poses, slapping Willie Mack and all this, and then that Willie Mack hits him with like an enzuigiri at one point that just like destroys him. And then they start trading kicks and knees, and Willie Mack with these pop-up forearms. It's just like it turned into like a dirty, gritty brawl, and that's what these, Rudo's luchadors do. But Willie Mack was like, "Nah, we're not having that. I'm gonna really fight you." Not in the end, but he really came back there. I thought he was gonna earn himself a victory, but Dralistico with the little cheaties, the big knee, and it was all over. But this match was tight.
This match, this one, I think sometimes it's such an embarrassment of riches on the in-ring side with ROH that you'll look at the card and you'll be like, oh, that should be fun. But this one like snuck up on me. I was kind of the same way where I was like, oh, that'll be a great match. And then it turned into something different. Like you said, like it kind of went in a different direction and I loved it.
Yeah.
Good stuff here. We are moving along, but we've got some off the beaten path chats a little bit. We've got Jake Salazar saying, me and my wants, I really want CM Punk to be on at least one ROH show or pay-per-view just for a one-off match or something. I can't imagine they wouldn't do that. I feel like that's something that CM Punk would want. There was a guy that I know, I would dare call him a friend, who actually made CM Punk cry with a question about ROH.
After the media scrum of Double or Nothing this year, the one in Vegas a couple weeks ago, but the thing I regretted the most is not asking Brian if he'd ever consider coming back to Ring of Honor, because that's another one. Like I've been thinking, like if Punk, I'm like they haven't done it with Brian yet, so I don't know if they'll do it with Punk, but I want them to do it with both these guys at least once. So yeah, I'm on the side too.
I wonder if you do Punk and Brian in ROH.
I mean,
if you did a best of 3 with Danielson and Punk, and you did the second one in ROH or something as like a special rooted moment. Yeah, I think that could be incredible. It would obviously do huge things for the brand, but just walking out there again, like it felt like CM Punk was. I busted your balls about the questions, but when he came out in that old ROH gear for that dog collar match, like it was such a moment, and it felt like it was such a moment to him. Like he was kind of frozen in time. Like it was nuts.
Still like that him crying was because he loves ROH so much. So it would make so much sense for him to have at least one match over there. And this suggestion you just had, I think, is a great way to do it. So we're all in on Bryan and Punk and ROH. Book it.
Yeah, I think it could be really fun to do that as an intermediate stop. Like if you, I mean, if you could book anything anywhere in the world, right? Like if you did a Chicago match between the two of them, a Seattle match between the two of them, and an ROH one in the middle, it would just be absolute.
That would be tight.
Take my wallet to the fullest extent of the law.
Big push for Ring of Honor. Maybe do it at a big Ring of Honor show. Like it just makes it big. Do it at Final Battle this year.
Yeah. Oh, that would be so fun. Well, we didn't have our tag match today with our tag champions, so I guess I'll just read these other chats. One that says, many men wish death upon me, blood in the eye, dog. And I can't see I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. Guns are destined to be ROH tag champs. Jake also saying at this point, I'm just messing with my guy, Reg.
2 days in a row, Jake.
You are.
You know what that does to me? The guns. The guns. Maybe one day I'll like the guns.
I gotta be honest. I'm not in on the guns. I can't say I've been on the guns. I was not a fan of them being.
I don't know any of my co-hosts who like these guys, but they just seem to just do something about this. I don't know.
I feel like
that's why, because no one likes them.
Well, the thing is, personality-wise, them with Juice makes a ton of sense to me.
Yes.
Them with Jay White makes no sense to me. So I don't know how they marry that. But I'm like, I get the vibe of Juice and the Guns. And also, if they're opening this program up with FTR, they obviously have history with them, right? So it makes sense in that regard.
I hate them, but I think this is a good idea of them.
That's where I'm at, where I'm like,
Bullet Club Gold.
It's not my taste, but I think it's a good idea for the product. My only thing is right now, regular Bullet Club is now, after Dominion, on like the most upward trajectory they've been in years and years. Like the recruitment, I'm not even that big of a Finlay gal, but the recruitment that they have with Connors and Gabriel Kidd coming in there, like now they feel very real deal. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to see Bullet Club versus Bullet Club Gold at any point, because I feel like these guys are going to destroy these other guys, but they can't tell that story because you're not going to do that to Jay White. So, so we'll see. But thanks for the troll job, Jake. You are a Bray Wyatt chat away from being timeouted.
Appreciate you, Jake, as always. See you on Saturday, big dog.
That's right. We do appreciate the support anytime you send in a chat and have fun with us. We appreciate it. But that brings us to kind of the big announcement of the night, because what is a Tony Khan product without a Tony Khan announcement these days? But I think it's fun. This was a good one. This was a well played one, I think. ROH, as reported by FightfulSelect.com, is going to have some authority figures in place. We've got a board of directors that includes Jerry Lynn and Stokely Hathaway. From this point on, what Ian Caprice were doing, toying with Stokely and how they owe him Keith Sweat records and Ross records and t-shirts. I was howling because
perfect.
It's great. It's a really good call. I think they could use an on-screen authority figure, someone to be making matches out there. Tony Khan clarified his responsibilities are staying the same. But I think this is fun because Stokely's a phenomenal on-screen presence, but he's also kind of a manipulative SOB, right? Like, it'll be really fun to see how he toes the line on ROH, which is such a clean product. It kind of feels good to have someone come in and mess it up a little bit. I think it'll be good. What are your thoughts on Stokely and Jerry Lynn?
Of course, big Jerry Lynn fan, have always been since the ECW days, since Mr. JL days in WCW. He's tremendous. I got to take a picture with him last year at Revolution, I think, and that was cool. Saw him at a coffee shop with Layla Hirsch, and I was like, that's Jerry Lynn, dude. Layla Hirsch is cool, but that's Jerry Lynn, dude. I have to.
Reg,
so,
you dropped something that looks like a name.
I said at a coffee shop. I wasn't like being special. I'm like, they're also at this coffee shop that I'm drinking.
Was the coffee stop backstage, Reg? Was the coffee shop in the
We're
press
moving
box?
forward. Jerry Lynn, he's cool. I'm happy he's here. Everyone knows how I feel about Stokely Hathaway. He's like the best, the funniest guy. He's going to add so much to this product of like, there's been some of these weeks in this Ring of Honor show where nobody talks or nobody says anything. It's just match, no rhyme or reason, no anything. And I think Jerry Lynn and Stokely are going to add that little piece that's needed just to tie a couple of these things together. So it isn't just match. There's some kind of reason that they're doing these things. I think it's going to be great for the product. Stokely's already being funny, talking about getting rid of Lucha Libre and stuff, just things that it's like, you son of a gun, but it's like perfect that he's added to it. So I'm really excited about it.
For you, he was like,
come on, like,
away.
What is this off the rip? I'm like, yo, why am I being attacked personally here?
Everybody, you are being attacked personally because we're just getting troll on troll, and I love it. I don't know, Reg, with their look and presentation, the entrance of many men changed my mind.
One entrance, damn it.
I will say I feel like Austin grew a lot. I feel like Colton still got a long way to go, but I feel like Austin kind of has picked up a lot of this. It's just even if they had 100 years experience, the type of tag team they are just like isn't for me.
This is not a knock. Maybe people are gonna take it as a knock. They're Billy Gunn's kids. They're never gonna be like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like the Max is like, you're gonna be as good as your dad, and like, okay.
Wow.
I said it wasn't a knock, Kate.
Wow. If you say it's not a knock, but you're like, but mediocre at best, that's still a knock. But I get what you're saying. Like, you're not going to be like, he's the next Bryan Danielson. Like, that's not where we're at. Right. I think not everyone needs to be.
Yeah, right? I don't think they're trying to be. Probably, I wouldn't think so. If they are, like, yo, that's ambitious.
But like, you're also in the Bullet Club, so it makes
something.
It's just like you're also in Bullet Club Gold.
Bang bang.
And you're not. I don't want to be a gatekeeper, but I am. You're not Bullet Club material yet. The guns.
It's like when they had like the B Team NWO and the spinoff things. It's like, I don't know if you're like really down, but like you're at the party, but you're like over there. You're like not sitting next to like the guys, but you're.
Also, justice for Ricky Starks is what really is happening there. Okay,
Ricky Starks has been getting dragged. He ain't got no friends.
He has. I know, not even Cam. It turns out. I thought Cam was his friend, but Jake Salazar saying somebody say Bray Wyatt.
Leave me alone, Jake. All of y'all with your cinemas and your Bray Wyatts and your Miz's and all that. I don't want it.
When people were getting mad at you, I think it was Monday, about you not liking the word cinema, I was like, I am absolutely on Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I know what this is gonna lead to. I know what's going on here. It's gonna be the the real trolls, and then I'm still gonna get trolled eventually.
Yeah,
it's all good fun and games from you. Those other guys, they suck. Forget them.
They're weird. Yeah. They are
so
weird out here. So weird. Jake Salazar with a nice one. Thank you, Jake, saying Stokely is going to be unhinged, and I'm here for it.
All the way, 1,000%.
A Stokely Hathaway power trip is going to be real freaking fun. And Minimal saying TK paying for his sins.
Finally.
So
it worked. Stoke broke into his office, replaced his pictures, did all kind of stuff, and it worked for him. So
it did.
Show, kids. Burglary.
I'm gonna. I don't have concrete plans to go to Forbidden Door, but if I can break into Jimmy Van's office and just take over Fightful, I would be foolish not to. What I've learned,
he's gonna be like, "Yeah, Kate's now on the board of directors." Like that's all you got to do.
That's it. That's how we get things done. Speaking of Ricky Starks, a suggestion: who could help him out? Goldberg.
Sicko mode, all of y'all.
It is. It is. But another nice one from Matthew Hook saying Nigel adds so much, even though Ian and Caprice rock. It is such a balanced announce desk. It really, really is. Like all three of them are just like in my opinion, like the best at what their role is, and they're all different roles. So it's super, super clean and even. Though I gotta say, Kevin Kelly is like so good.
He's so good. Have we made predictions on Collision commentators, right? Like who we think could possibly.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like still like
out there, Ian.
Yeah, Ian or Nigel I think could do it too. Because every time I watch ROH, I'm like, one of these guys' voice could really do it too. So I don't know.
I think so, and especially with see it's even being mentioned in the chat. Nigel calling Danielson a clam digger and knowing Danielson's going to be working Collision a little bit.
Right. Connection.
I love when people hold like decades old grudges.
Yes. And Brian went off on him on that same press I was talking about earlier. He didn't have anything nice to say. He was like, yo, you're washed up pretty much. Don't stop talking about me.
That's it. Yeah. It's like Eddie and Claudio. I'm like, these people just can't get over it. And
they can't.
Love
it's been 20 years, you guys.
I'm a white girl. I like petty. Let's go. I
know.
And
shaking your salad. White girls like shaking their salads, right? That's a thing. I don't know. Isn't that a white girl thing? They like shaking those. Make sure you got to get every piece of salad dressing.
Oh my God. Yeah. You got to, with the Tupperware top and the, yep. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's just like a vinaigrette, and it's just so light that I just need it. I just want it on all of my mixed grains.
It's got to coat every piece of that leafy green salad.
You know what, Reg? Support women, okay?
Happy Pride Month to everybody. Let's do that.
Happy Pride Month. We're actually going to talk about some awesome Pride gear in a couple of matches that we got to see today. Yeah, we've got it both from Cheeseburger and from Kiera Hogan tonight. But before we get to that, our New Japan Strong Women's Championship that never gets old to say. I think it's so cool. Willow Nightingale and Rachel Ellering. A good little match here. We got some nice work, and it was kind of fun to see someone else be in control a little bit. Like I feel like a lot of these matches are Willow on the offense, other people getting their stuff in, but her being ultimately in control. Got a really nice STO from Rachel Ellering, and a springboard leg drop that only got the 2, but I loved how she was in control, and then the pounce happened and it opened everything up. Really, really, really fun stuff there. Willow ultimately applying the camel clutch on Rachel, which I also liked because Rachel's a little bit more athletically built and bigger to win with a submission was fun here. What did you think of our match tonight?
I thought exactly what you said. Her kind of having control over Willow for a lot of the match was an interesting change because we've seen Willow come in and dominate. Willow comes in, makes her will over all these people that she's in the ring with. She's just dominant. She's been like that for a few months, but Rachel Ellering was like, not today. I'm a third, 22nd generation, I don't know, all kind of generation wrestler. I got a name out here. She's been coming up recently. I'm going to see her tomorrow at West Coast Pro. I think she's taking on Vert Vixen. I want to shout out that real quick. Rachel Ellering right here, though, was really on display against Willow, but Willow, again, like, she, I think Rachel Ellering might have pissed her off at one point. She just got really fired up and just started taking off. And it was like, okay, I'd like somebody bringing this side of Willow out because she's just been so happy and stoked since winning that New Japan Strong Women's Championship that you needed somebody to kind of take her out of that. And I thought Rachel Ellering did, and they gave him a good amount of time to build on the match and a lot of really fun stuff in here.
Yeah, I've liked. In the same way, I feel like when Orange Cassidy came back and faced Will Ospreay, his matches started getting produced a little bit differently. Like I really, really liked that it wasn't like the same thing where I'd be like, oh, the lazy kicks, haha. Then Orange Cassidy gets his butt kicked, and then, oh my God, he fires up and he finds a way to win. Everything started to change. I feel like that's happening with Willow a little bit now. Yes. Her matches weren't so formulaic, but since she's had the title, like her match with Emmy at Rampage was fantastic. And we're starting to see, with a little more time and breathing room, like a little bit more fuller of an extent of her capabilities, and it's awesome. It makes my heart sing because we know it about Willow, and now a TV crowd get to see it about Willow. And who the hell doesn't love Willow? Most importantly,
who doesn't? If you don't, you're weird.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Who doesn't like Willow? There's somebody out there like, I don't get it. Like, what don't you get? It's all there. She's presenting it to you.
Go to therapy if you don't.
Please.
It's a you thing. It's kind of like with Willie Mack. Like, it's on you.
Yes, exactly. Like, if you don't like these people, like, get it checked out. Yeah.
You're the problem, it's you, as Taylor says, right? My God. Most importantly, what did you think of the Soul remix from Caprice at the top of this?
Definitely preferred when they back up, let Caprice do his thing, let him get off, and then Nigel immediately goes into him. It's a perfect combination of thing. Like he adds like Ian was originally like, I'm in on this, and then Nigel came in and was like, you guys are just way too goofy. He's still saying you guys are goofy with this, and we need to move on. I think it's a great way to counteract what Caprice does.
I think it was a tender performance today. It was a little more vulnerable. Didn't come in with the same energy. It was just like a little Willow love song, and I was here for the Soul remix. I liked it.
Yeah.
The Pro Wrestling Podcast, aka CM Punk's besties, out here, constantly getting comments from CM Punk on Instagram. They got one yesterday that was very funny, saying, I didn't watch ROH, but I'm saying hi anyways. Well, hello.
Hey, thanks, you guys.
Happy 9 days until CM Punk returns to you, because that's how I feel. I'm like a little kid at Christmas again. And another donation from you guys, because you guys rule. Thank you so much.
So cool.
Oh, because you're a Kate fan. See, people pay to troll you, and they pay to send in their admiration to me.
Wow, what a nice balance, I guess. I don't know, what the hell is this?
Guess which one makes way more money. Damn it all, the trolling you. We still have just like mostly Jake trolling you chats to read, but we're gonna move along to our 6-man first. Some good and bad here. Hey, we get our 6-man titles defended finally.
Oh yeah, look at that.
We get an approving ground match, I should say.
Yeah,
not like a defense properly, but we have the champions all in the ring at the same time.
Who would have thunk it?
I know. We get the Shinobi Squad and Marcus Kross. That's the world famous Cheeseburger and Eli Isom versus the Embassy. Cheeseburger in his pride gear made me really happy, and he always has that flower for Hana Kimura. Always like sets me back a minute. Kind of reminds you of the important stuff there for a moment. But not a lot to say here.
Yeah.
I like that we're getting proving ground matches. I like that we're getting our 6-man title holders on television. I'm kind of over pretending like Cheeseburger isn't great at this, or like Eli Isom's not a really good wrestler. Like I'm very glad they're getting paid. I'm glad the guys that were in the guard that shut down with ROH are getting paid, but like I don't want them to only look like chumps when they're on screen. Like I need them to. There's no reason this couldn't have been like 8 minutes or whatever, and they look good in a loss, even though they didn't last the time or whatever. So that's my only complaint is like, I'm so glad these guys are getting booked. They deserve to stay a part of the product. I just wish they were getting treated with a little bit more gravity so that if they do get signed, you're a little more bought in on them. But decent enough stuff here nonetheless. The Embassy hitting a triple team power bomb on Marcus Kross, and Kaun gets the pinfall. I loved Nigel calling Marcus Kross Buddy Landell. That popped me so hard. I don't know why I didn't think of it. I think Buddy Landell is one of the best elbow drops I've ever seen. But what did you think of this short and aggressive match?
Yeah, kind of exactly along the lines that you were saying. I want Cheeseburger, world famous CB, and Eli to be treated more like the Christopher Daniels role than these young ROH jobber roles. Like I don't want them to just come in and it's good to see CB and then he's getting destroyed every week. That doesn't really do anything for me, because also a person that's played a super vital role in Ring of Honor and what it represents, and was the head trainer over there for a really long time and came up through all the systems. So it's like I don't want to just see him in there like, oh nice, clap for CB, and then him getting his head clotheslined every single match. I'm happy that we saw the ROH 6-man tag team championships, and I'm happy that they announced that next week. I think we're getting to that too. Next week they're going to be on the line here, so we are seeing some progression in championships that we haven't seen enough on TV. I hope that leads to something. Maybe those guys will lose it and we'll see it more, or maybe this will make them defend it more. But these Embassy beatdowns are fun, but I'm ready to see a little bit more competitiveness for those 6-man tag team championships.
I agree. If you're not familiar with Cheeseburger, go check out some of his work, the world famous CB / Cheeseburger at ROH. Like, I just also hate the like, he's littler, so he's gonna get his ass kicked by the big guy. It seems like they're running that trope out a lot, and it's like, no, CB can bring it. Like he's got an incredible wrestling foundation and is a lot of fun to watch. So I would encourage you to check out his work that is longer than being booked for 2 minutes, because he's real good. Same with the other fellas in this match, but CB's always been a standout to me. Big fan, big fan. But good enough stuff here. I was glad to see the titles getting defended. I'm wondering if these titles end up in this Dark Order Righteous storyline. Do you think maybe something happens there?
Yeah, I think I could see them making a transition along the way here to it ending up on one of the sides, more than likely the Righteous' side, because I think that is the better story to tell. I think they are going to be in the mix here coming up soon. I don't know exactly when, but I think with the story, that's one of the best stories they're telling here in Ring of Honor, and to add those championships would add a little bit more to it.
I agree. It's actually, I think, my favorite story in ROH, though. The story of Athena. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I always forget about the MVP. Sorry, Athena. Yeah, that's the story there.
No, they're both great, because Athena's story is almost like the story of who she's become as a champion. This is a story like between two
story. Yeah, totally.
So I'm with you. We get a quicker match, but I love seeing how many women's matches we get on cards between Mercedes Martinez and Vert Vixen. This was a fun one. I feel like it got a little bit clunkier at the end, unfortunately. The Brass City Sleeper is such a nasty submission, but it is an extremely particular one to lock in. And I forget what the move before this was, but it almost felt like Vert Vixen was just waiting around to be kicked in the back. Like it just something felt a little bit off there, but no major complaints other than that. They're building Mercedes back up to be a contender for the title that she lost to Athena clearly at some point in this, probably after another Kiera Hogan shot, I'm guessing. Perfectly fine here. Love seeing Vert Vixen get reps as well. Any thoughts on this?
Great to see Mercedes back again. They announced her for a Rampage match, which means that she's back over there too. So anytime we see her be able to build back up to being one of those contenders, she's always going to be a contender for every single championship in these promotions. So it's great to see her. Vert Vixen has been getting built up. I'm interested to see what happens moving forward here in ROH. It seems like they have some pretty good interest in her and have been giving her some pretty high profile matches. There has been some clunky moments, but I think she's still pretty young into her career, and every time that we see her, she's getting better. So it's gonna be good moving forward. But Mercedes is getting big wins. Mercedes is being built up to be somebody potentially, I don't know, to take down Athena. Maybe the person that takes down Athena then is in a thing with Mercedes after that, because I don't know if they're gonna. I don't really see Mercedes being a hardcore baby face at this point, and I don't know if she'll be the foil to Athena's run here.
Yeah, that almost feels like when you also have Willow there, you're giving a secondary option in a way because of the type of heel and face that they are. I love Mercedes being that badass face that is a face, but there to just destroy people, kind of like an Eddie Kingston, I would say, like same vibe. Really happy to see Vert Vixen getting reps, and also some of the clunkiness is Mercedes works a very specific style. So. She does. It probably takes a little bit of adapting to, but good stuff. Good stuff. Well, we finally get an answer to who the F is Griff Garrison, baby. He's back. And I'm so glad he's back. I don't know how I feel about him being back at a losing effort. I feel like it should be like a little bit more of a moment, but they are certainly building up Lee Moriarty to be a major player in ROH, as they should be. He is an outstanding talent. I loved his pure match against Shibata. Yeah. Really, really good stuff. The eye rake with Griff Garrison to get him into that Hiromu role was fantastic for the finish here, getting the pin. I thought this was fun. I am glad Griff Garrison's back. He was always kind of, not that you have to pick someone, but like in the Varsity Blondes, I was gravitated toward him more than Brian Pillman. Like I just, is that controversial?
I mean, Brian Pillman Jr. Brian Pillman Jr., Kate. His dad was Brian Pillman Sr.
Oh, well, in that case, he should be dethroning Roman Reigns because that's the story we got.
Aha! Look at this.
I also liked Griff Garrison before he was with Brian Pillman Jr. So how did he like them apples? I liked him in the ROH brand. I'm very happy to see him back. Very just happy to see him healthy and everything too. Don't know if I would bring him back in a losing effort, but happy to see Lee Moriarty continue to build momentum. Any thoughts here?
Great to see Lee on this run in these different. He's been like kind of all over the little AEW spectrum at this point. I'd be happy to see him get a big run over in Collision when they start up, or just continue what he's doing over here in Ring of Honor. I think he could be the one to dethrone Shibata, maybe after Dan Garcia gets a shot. Lee is being able to have fun over here in Ring of Honor, I think, is what's the best part about this, because he's been doing the things with Big Bill and kind of locked in the comedy things over there with Matt Hardy and Ethan Page and all these guys. But over here in Ring of Honor, it's just him in the ring. It's just him with the guys. Just Lee Moriarty getting able to do the shit that got him to where he is now. Technical, all kind of different styles, wrapping you up, trying to put you in positions that you've never been in before. And I think it's working out pretty well for him. I think coming up here in these next couple months, he's going to build himself up to maybe become a champion over here. He could be also the one to beat Samoa Joe eventually, like the way that they are kind of putting the rocket on his back right now. It's great to see. Leland deserves it, and Ring of Honor is a great place for him to do this too.
When he came out today, I was just, there's sometimes when a wrestler comes out and I'm like, God, they're just so fucking cool.
So cool.
He's one of them that like
so cool.
Comes out with the mask and his music and his presence. I'm like, God, that guy's fucking cool. But I agree with you. I am very interested. We're on the same wavelength last night, you and I. Very interested in the idea of a Lee Moriarty pure title run. Very intrigued by that possibility. I think that could be something really special. And I also agree. Feels like he just gets to stretch his legs in ROH a little bit more. I feel like that's been a pattern. Because I've actually liked the work with Big Bill. I think they work well together. But like, if anything's like more my shit, it's
Big Bill. Honestly, not for nothing. Big Bill has like grown on me like no other wrestler has. I don't know what it is. The homie that said that he was Psycho Sid in ECW, I was like, that's exactly what it. He's just like, I never was into the soft Enzo Amore stuff. I was like, I don't know about this, but this stuff that he's doing now, just choke slamming fools, coming out with his long ass jeans, sweat hair, looking like tall, slender Triple H. I'm like, yo, let's go, bro.
Ted, as they say.
Yes.
I think
exactly.
I think he's just had a lot more personality in his wrestling. Like it's really fun to see personality show up in an in-ring standpoint where before all the personality was being handheld by Enzo, right? And that tag run, he was kind of getting his legs back under him. And it also just feels like literally in his own life, battling addiction. With some of his Impact work as William Morrissey, it kind of feels like it all came together for the guy, and you just love to see it.
Yep. Big Bill.
So good stuff there. Some more trolling. We're just going to sprinkle it in because it never stops and it's not related to really anything that's on the card. But Jigsaws are saying Goldberg, Ricky, and FTR versus Bang Bang Gang. Listen.
No, and no against nobody. How about that?
That's a no for me. I don't need to see Goldberg. I always try to explain to people because of when I started watching too, like, I don't have a nostalgic attachment to these guys. That's part of why I'm so anti-Jarrett. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And Goldberg, least of all, because it was, of anything, a streak you didn't watch to get a nostalgic attachment.
I do have a nostalgic attachment to these guys, and I don't want it still. So it's like it doesn't change anything. I was there during the streak, and I was like, all right, this guy's fake Stone Cold. The Jarrett stuff, I was always like, every time he would show up at a different promotion, I'm like, this motherfucker again? Damn it. But I don't feel like that in AEW, weirdly enough. I guess because I'm on the payroll.
It's probably because you're a show.
I get you before you get me, Kate.
You're so buddy with Will Ospreay.
I mean,
that you're all bruv with Will over there.
And Tony the Tiger, not Ton.
That's right. Yeah. Tony Schiavone and you.
Tony Schiavone, yeah, we're great. We're great friends.
I will say I always like when wrestlers get to work with wrestlers they wanted to work with. And if there was something that was a one-off with MJF, not a match, but like Goldberg being in MJF's corner or something like that, I would be all for, because it's not for me to be like, an artist should not work with this person. Like, that's just not how my view on things. But Matthew Hooks brings up an interesting point that Goldberg can just go fight a tractor. That might be the best use of Goldberg, it seems, lately.
Interesting.
But something nice from Jake Salazar. He's like a Sour Patch Kid. We get sweet and sour with him.
Yeah.
Like, Lee is really good at this wrestling thing. He
very good.
Really
so good.
Is. So much like inspired work going on. I'm so sugar this week because like I sat in on the Raw review with Denise, who you did an AEW review with, right?
I did. Yep.
And Raw was pretty good. And then Alex was out on Tuesday, so that was very weird and disorienting. But I had Joel on with me, and I thought Dynamite was great yesterday. We got ROH back in the studio vibes. It's been a good Graps week.
Good week.
Good Graps week. So we get Kiera Hogan in the most like she needs the help, by the way. Yeah. Like she's always gorgeous looking, but this Pride gear was fantastic against Robyn Renegade. Yeah, no, I was just like, I want to be you. Like she's just incredible. But she gets a double super kick on Robyn Renegade. I loved her being like, this isn't twin magic. You aren't twins. You don't look the same.
Every time they try it.
Her being the one to be like, no, was so good to me. And I loved with Athena coming in with the kendo stick. Match was good too, but I feel like the story was kind of at the end here. The Harley Race seesaw spot with the kendo stick, I thought was a whole heck of a lot of fun. It bounced back at her, and Kiera just took it and beat the ever-living hell out of her. That was very fun. Your thoughts on this match and the post-match?
Kiera's been great in these last couple of weeks, kind of being built up to be the next one for Athena. The Renegades are awesome to see. I'd like to see them as a tag team. They keep just trying to do over the twin magic thing, which is fine. Great little angle. It works for a time. But the
gal's injured, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, the whole thing here was in the post match angle. I thought Athena thought she was going to get the one up on Kiera here, but she did the old Harley Race / the Rock with the chair, bounced back off the top of the top rope back into her face, and then she just let her have it into that kendo stick. Was no more. They're building to something dangerous. You know that Athena really likes this type of thing, like. I think this is going to drive her to be even crazier. Somebody that's like giving it back to her and not letting her get the upper hand on her. That's not going to be a good thing because Athena's kind of craving somebody to bring that competition. So this match, wherever they're building to, looking like maybe Death Before Dishonor, I think is going to be one of them ones. And Kiera recently just looking like $1 million, ready to win that ROH Women's Championship and become the one. And if she does it, I'm not going to be mad at it.
$1 million is her in sweats with no makeup on. My God, this woman.
Seriously.
Whew. What a smoke show. Guys, coming down the home stretch, getting those super chats and humper chats as we wrap up here in our next couple of matches. But we get a match that this is breaking my heart, Reg. I'm getting right in the feels with this Dark Order story. I love what's being built out here. Though I was a little confused on the booking, considering where this went. We get the Dark Order and JD Drake and Anthony Henry and Shane Taylor, whatever this is, in a match where the Dark Order just wasn't on the same page. It felt like they were just a little bit off the whole time. Commentary breaking my heart with the line, it feels like they're a step behind, but it's an emotional step behind. Oh, yeah. What are you doing to me? They're just not the same without Stu, but they pull out the victory. Evil Uno. What happened here? Evil Uno moved and JD Drake with Shane Taylor with the Ninzaguri. I'm sorry, that was like the turn of the tide in this match. That's where things started to pivot. Yeah. We ultimately end with John Silver and Alex Reynolds hitting a double team sequence on JD Drake for the pinfall. Another really fun spot in here was the pendulum bomb that Henry from the Dark Order. and a big German suplex by Silver on JD Drake, which looked great in this. I was kind of confused as to why they won, because we also get this post-match promo from the Righteous saying that they were like very unimpressed and that they looked like chumps and stuff. Thought the match was great. Loved the story in the match. Just kind of confused why Dark Order went over here.
Yeah, they could have kind of told the story of them losing. It felt like they were building up to them losing because of everything they've been through here with Stu and with Hangman. Like, they got a lot going on. They could have told the story of them losing, then the Righteous immediately coming in being like, y'all are chumps. That probably would have made more sense for them to do. But you still got to keep them a little bit strong leading into whatever matches they're going to have again, because the Righteous already kind of has an upper hand on them. So you got to build them up just a little bit more for whenever they do have that big blow off. But the Workhorsemen and Shane Taylor, it's an interesting pairing. I guess they're going forward with this pairing, and I like all these guys. So seeing them in the ring with the Dark Order was cool. They got a lot of their shit in here. They're very strong, beastly people. So that was cool.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. I'm very intrigued to see what happens when Collision breaks out, because it just feels like, I say it week over week, but the Workhorsemen versus FTR is like my 80s NWA vibes that I've grown to know and love. But move along to another 6-man that just kind of happened. Darius Martin, Action Andretti, and AR Fox. Love seeing them in the ring versus the Trustbusters. A Sunny Kiss show out here, man.
Yes.
Happy to see it for her. Big press in this match. Very fun. But we get a pump handle face buster from Darius Martin that looked great in this. But Andretti gets the pinfall on Jeeves K for the win. Top Flight Adjacent continues. They're continuing to tell the story about what happens when Dante comes back, which I like. Perfectly fine match. I don't have a ton to say about it.
Yeah, I think they were just trying to tell the story of next week that Action Andretti, Darius Martin, and AR Fox are going to get a shot at the Embassy's 6-man Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship. So this is just kind of reestablishing that they're a team, because we've seen AR Fox in a couple different 6-man tag teams over this time. So they're like, actually, he's over here. He's light-skinned too. It's all going to work out if you guys are ready for it. So what's going to happen is next week it's going to be a really fun match. I think the Embassy has been looking great. I think Top Flight and them with AR Fox is always a fun team. And I'm really looking forward to the match. This was, just kind of there, though.
Yeah, this was one where I was like, this could have been 11 matches, but I don't have complaints because in ring it was fun. And I love seeing a girl Sunny Kiss on TV, especially during Pride Month. Makes me very happy.
Sunny Kiss killed it. That press slam into the moonsault was awesome.
Yes. Yes. I think the more we get from Sunny, the better. That's how I feel. But we move along to our tag team champs that don't have belts versus Combarde and Dragon.
I don't know why they're not the champions. I swear.
Not if this is what we're going to be getting from them and what we're not going to be getting from the Lucha Brothers. But the Kingdom picking up a W here with the Proton Pack as usual. Maria also looking hideous per usual. Dear Lord. Can't believe that woman pushed kids out of her body. She looks great. But good stuff here. We're trying to get the Impact crew in here shortly, so trying not to go overkill. So stick around for them. But a good tag match. It feels like the Kingdom are certainly, at least I would hope at this point, building to title defense or a title challenge, if not winning it from the Lucha Brothers. Your thoughts on this match?
Mike Bennett with a gusher just bleeding all over the place in the match. He's not, why are you bleeding here, dude? We weren't doing that, but it just happens. His head is just now like, here's blood. It's an ROH show. You guys know what to do here. This match is actually super fun too. These luchadors, man, I'm telling you. The Kingdom had a match that was kind of a little bit out of the element. They were taking out of the kind of what they were building towards with these last couple weeks. The bloody thing kind of pissed off Mike Bennett, and they turned it into some anger. But yeah, I don't really understand why they're not the Ring of Honor World Champion Tag Team Champions right now, because they have been the most consistent kind of carrying the Ring of Honor flag tag team. That's been happening since they've got here in Honor Club. So something needs to happen here. They need to be the ones to win them. To win them from the Lucha Bros, I think, at this rate.
I agree. Or the Lucha Brothers have to be around, but either one of those would be a delightful call. We get an intermediate segment where Stokely Hathaway says, I'm coming for Spot Fu. I'm taking it away from Reg. No luchadors in my ROH.
Rude. So rude.
But that's not what happens because we get Rey Fenix versus Gravity, the wrestler, not the theory, concept, force, as he's also been known to defeat many a time. But you know what? This match was a whole heck of a lot of fun. We get a big crucifix bomb from Gravity with Fenix kicking out at 29999 at one point. A rolling cutter from Fenix and the Black Fire Driver for the win. Reg, this is your shit. I'm just going to throw it over to you to talk about.
Yeah, they tried to fake me out. Stokely's tried to trick me. The Tony Khan talking about no lucha libre. Then they bring out 2 world-class luchadors. Rey Fenix, the coolest luchador in the world. Gravity, Bandito's brother. I've seen him before at West Coast Pro. Shout out to West Coast Pro. If you're in South San Francisco tomorrow at 7 p.m., we're going up. So get your tickets if you haven't, and it's going to be a great show. But yeah, seen him at the show there. He brought that excitement here. He came out with the spacesuit, NASA walking slowly like he was in space and shit. Very fun stuff here, but Rey Fenix just gave him the onslaught. All the great shit that they had a chop battle at one point and Gravity just wasn't doing it. And Rey Fenix was doing it. The way that he ended it was just beautiful and brutal. Rey Fenix is just so cool. Interested to see what the Lucha Bros or him or whatever, what they do this summer with all these events. Actually, there's some things they can't be a part of Forbidden Door, so forget about that. But those other events, All In and All Out, love to see what they're doing here and love to see what they're going to do with these Ring of Honor championships. Let them be a tag team. Let them defend them together, and we will have some great stuff. But really fun way to end the show. Phoenix has been doing some really fun matches here in Ring of Honor without his brother. So, I mean, I can't totally be mad at it.
No, he's my God, like he's just a breathtaking wrestler to watch.
Yeah.
Like he's so well rounded.
The rope running kick that he does is just like why?
Stop. You're literally in the ring with Gravity and you're defying gravity constantly.
Come on.
Get out of town and take a bus. Jake Salazar saying, everybody please boo Matthew Minus. That was in response to him saying, do either of you regret signing up for this ROH? No, because of 2 things. I love this program. It's my favorite promotion. And even when it's a little lost, I'm in for it. And 2, I don't have to pay for it. There's a Fightful login. I don't know if you know that. A couple more chats, and then we will finally turn it over to. Yeah, I didn't know either until recently.
Come on, dude. Give me more $10 back.
I will hook you up. But a couple more troll chats, and then we are going to bring on this Impact crew, as well as predictions ask, which we will bring on the Impact crew for, because I think it's funny to ask people about predictions for shows they don't watch. Jake Salazar saying that he's absolutely starting a wrestling promotion called CWP, Cinema Wrestling Promotions, and he's booking Reg for the main event. Louis says, if you do, please send the press release so that Jeremy can pre-write the story. Jake Salazar also responding to Matthew Hook saying, Matthew Goldberg would fight a tractor and Bret Hart would probably say he was unsafe with the tractor and take years off of his tractor career. Listen, it would probably be true. Show some respect to Bret Hart around here. Jake Salazar also saying, Reg's reaction to Will singing Jeff's theme coming around him is probably the funniest thing of 2023 so far. Bree-woo, man. Bree-woo. Lucha Bros, like always, never miss. # better than the Bucks. They're both probably the best in the world at what they do.
Careful.
Is how I would classify that. Like, I don't think you can definitively say either team is better than the other, in the same way that I don't think you can say that about FTR. You can only have your taste because you're talking about the best tag teams in the world at what they do. But we're going to bring on Joel and Cresta finally. I know we're way over, but we had a lot of support today.
Troll.
We had a lot of trolls today, more than support, but ones that paid us money to talk, so we'll take it. Reg, we got asked about predictions. I'm gonna say Mark Briscoe wins that TV title. Is where I'm gonna go.
You think that scoop's gonna be Samoa Joe's Mark Briscoe?
I do. I think.
I could see it. Maybe I think I could maybe see actually Zack Sabre Jr. beating Samoa Joe at this point.
Interesting. Okay. I don't see Samoa Joe taking the NJPW tag title. So if they go title for title, it's probably Zack Sabre Jr. That could be fun. Right. I have no idea who Claudio faces. Maybe Eddie Kingston's coming back.
Maybe Eddie Kingston. Yeah, that was gonna be my guess because he's not supposed to be out for super long either. Yeah, probably Eddie and Claudio, and Eddie beats him for that championship.
But Eddie's in the G1 now because all is well. We'll see.
It'd be a great representation having that Ring of Honor championship, but then you have to take losses, and they don't like that. So,
maybe it's Kyle Fletcher. Fletcher versus Claudio. Let's go.
I like it. I like it.
Hi, look at Cresta. You look beautiful today. Holy cow.
Rest in power, Iron Sheik. Fuck the Hulk Hogan. I should be yelling, fuck the Hulk Hogan.
There you go. Jake yelling along in solidarity. Hi, guys. Sorry we went over. We had a lot of support in the form of trolling and some nice things that were said as well in a loaded Ring of Honor episode. How was Impact tonight?
To me, it was middle of the road. To me, I expect just a little bit more from a go-home show, but I feel like just like last week, 2 weeks ago, there was Under Siege, and now there's Against All Odds. So I give them the slack, but it was a little less than middle of the road. I'm not gonna lie. That's
the big show. It's the big show's tomorrow. The next one.
I mean, I don't know if you want to call it a big show, but it's
Against All Odds is tomorrow. Let me rephrase.
There it is.
Yeah, Against All Odds is tomorrow. The biggest thing on that show physically is Madman Fulton.
Come on now. He's just as tall.
It's true. Big Khan's pretty big too, I guess.
Yeah, true.
Chris, I have a question that's exclusively for you.
Okay, what's up?
How much would you pay to see Steve Macklin kick Joel Pearl's ass? Because it seems like we might be getting it for free, but I'm just wondering what the draw is. I
like Joel Pearl, and I cannot let Steve Macklin beat up Joel Pearl for free. I gotta run in. I gotta Eddie Guerrero. I gotta be angry on, man. I gotta run in. I can't. I'm not gonna let this go down. I love and respect Joel Pearl. It'd be such good shit. But God, call me Bernie Sanders with the chair. I'm running down.
Let's
man.
Go. That's how co-hosts are supposed to respond. Yes, there you go.
Beat up for solidarity. You gonna get beat up by Macklin, and my arm's gonna be like this with Leona. So we both got it bad.
Yeah, Deanna's just gonna beat your ass instead. It's gonna be great.
I don't know if you want that.
Beat my ass, or when she touched me, I die. Please, y'all know my mustache comes off if I laugh too hard. She could not have this.
I get to fight Steve Macklin all in weekend because they'll be back in Toronto. So that's when I'm gonna beat up Steve Macklin.
You said you gonna beat up Steve Macklin?
That's what he said, Cresta. That's what he said.
I'm gonna beat up Steve Macklin.
How can I defend you when you're acting like this?
I mean, yeah. Mac's just gonna pull out the footage and be like, "You see what he was talking this time?" And then you just got to be like, handle that.
That's true. I got to use the cinder blocks against Steve Macklin. That's what I got to do.
I got to ride or die with you, Joel. Why you put me in a position to die?
Joel, he's gonna staple your mouth together, dude. I don't think you want that.
Yeah,
listen, he can do anything he wants, but I'm going to get those cinder blocks before he can, and I am going to use them against him. I am going to tear. Listen, okay.
Are you really going to send Joe Gacy?
I'm putting on my serious glasses for a second. Steve Macklin, I know you watch this post show. I know it because you talk about it. You do cardio while you watch the show. I know because you told us on In the Weeds every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Fightful Over Bucks. And I know that you give your opinions on everything we have to say. Well, guess what? August 27th and 28th, you're in my neck of the woods.
Woo.
I will take you down in your home of Impact, in my home of Toronto.
It's still standing after the fire.
Date. That's
a good point. That's a really good point.
I mean, points are being made.
True.
Points are being made.
It's Dune out here in New York. My trauma.
I could not breathe yesterday at all. My poor dog. I was like, we're going for a 3-minute walk. Hope you can get your shit in, because
Literally, no, let's get your shit out at that point.
yeah, get your shit out.
Get your shit out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My God.
Wow. Yeah. Joel said dates to Steve Macklin. That's great. He said
He did.
August 27th
He knows.
and 28th. Double the dates on him. Those
He knows.
are some bold claims, man.
Because I can't just go to Emergence. I have to go to the TV tapings the next day. I gotta get the scoops and everything. So I gotta go to the shows.
Right.
Anyway.
I think you're sending Joe Gacy. I think that's what's happening. You're talking a big game. The whole schism is going to show up in Impact. The Forbidden Door is open. Are you excited about anything for tomorrow? Was this like a more tame show because they're building to something special tomorrow, or is it kind of just like,
I think it's a more tame show, in my opinion.
Yeah, again, like Cresta was saying, like we just had Enter Siege 2 weeks ago, so it feels really quick. And even like I've said on the post shows, like there's another stupid special in 2 weeks after we just did one, so it feels a little quick. But like they're building this stuff for Slammiversary. They're gonna do this again, I think, in the fall, where they're gonna do Emergence is the end of August, and then Victory Road is like a week or two later. So we're gonna have this again. It's just their taping schedule sometimes gets either really, really close together with shows or really far with big gaps between a pay-per-view. Yeah, there's some stuff tomorrow night that looks good. Like that dog collar match with Masha and Killer Kelly is going to be up.
I can't wait to not watch that, because this is going to be
yeah, behind your hands. Totally.
No, I didn't. I couldn't tell you what happened in that PCO Steve Macklin match, because I'm a big jabroni. My bloodline is weak. The Iron Sheik would choke me. He would put me in the camel clutch. My bloodline is weak. I couldn't. Just thinking about it now, it was a piece of meat. Jesus Christ! It's not the real.
Macklin,
oh my God!
Macklin even hinted to us on the same show that I mentioned earlier that he was hard-weighed at Under Siege.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was not part of the plan. So, I mean, you can see the stitches in his head. It was pretty brutal.
Yeah, they were bad. They were rough.
I think the interview that Denise did with him, he showed them off, and like it was
just like
disgusting.
Yeah. He was like, when I felt, I was like, ew, it's like a loogie. I'm like, yo, if you're like that, imagine us. Jesus.
Well, we will let you talk about your unsightly hard way split opens as us ROH purists.
No blood over here, you sickos.
Definitely not Mike Bennett earlier.
When is Death Before Dishonor? Is it July?
It is my cousin's wedding, July 21st.
In New Jersey, too, dude. Wow. Come on.
What is a good wedding gift besides tickets to Death Before Dishonor? I thought of you. I thought of you.
What if you have the wedding at Death Before Dishonor?
Let's get these nuptials going so we can see Samoa Joe, you guys.
That's exactly it.
What if Joe officiates the wedding?
That's true. It's a wrestling wedding, and you pop up out the cake with the ring.
Boom.
Speak now, or I'll put you in a coquina clutch. Sounds good to me. Like I'm in.
Book it.
I'm in.
I do. All
right. We took up a ton of your time already. We'll let you guys get started, but looking forward to hearing about it, and also to probably kicking you off the main channel again tomorrow, Joel. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, I have no idea what we're doing.
We'll figure it out.
Well, we will. Good night, y'all.
Have a great show, guys.
Bye, you big jabronis.
Oh my goodness.
That's my thing.
We're just hanging out. There we go.
I
gotta fix my camera. How are you, Cresta Star?
I'm okay. Very saddened, first and foremost, to say rest in power, Iron Sheik. One of my favorite wrestlers growing up. And I think that his Twitter game, I've talked about it, unmatched. So I'm paying homage to the great Iron Sheik, giving someone the camel clutch in heaven.
I'm going to tell you a little secret. He didn't manage his own Twitter account.
Why would you tell me this?
I'm going to tell you another secret.
You're a heel. You're the biggest heel in the business.
I'm going to tell you another secret. 2 guys from Toronto handled his Twitter account.
You are the biggest heel in the business, and I don't know. I might have to turn on you with you versus Mack. I might have to turn on you. That is such a heel. That's such a heel move. Why would you tell me this? I could have lived without those.
I needed you to know the truth.
No, you're a big jabroni. F the Joel Pearl.
Oh, you don't mean that.
That's true. I would take a chair shot for you.
I just realized Mike Bailey was not on the show tonight. That's probably why I'm sad.
True.
Anyway, shall we?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. For the audio people, as you know. Hello, friends. We're back again. It's Fightful.com. It is June the 8th, 2023. It's time for your Impact Wrestling post show. I am Actual Pearl, and as always, Cresta Star is here. Cresta Chic Star. Cresta the Chic? Cresta Star.
The Chic.
Cresta Star Chic. Cresta Chic Star. Cresta Star.
Worcestershire.
You got the joke. Thank you. Hi, Cresta. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Okay show tonight. I am feeling the fantasy. I am, for those of you in audio, you can't see, I'm paying homage to the Iron Sheik. I have on the stash, the headgear. Only thing that's missing is my raw chest, but I don't want us to get demonetized and or banned on the YouTubes.
Probably a good idea for us to not have that, or else Sean will be looking for a new co-host for the Collision post show starting next Saturday, in which you and Rick Uccino and Iridian Ferrero will be the co-hosts.
I've been fired before I start. What a way to go.
The best way to go, I got to tell you. The best way to go is also leaving a thumbs up here on this video. If you're listening to us in the audio realm, go ahead, leave a 5-star review, because that gets us closer to your friends' ears, and not doing this because, you know, screw that guy. But go ahead, leave a 5-star review, get us closer to more ears, and maybe your commute to work or commute to school, whatever it is. Just get in there, do the thing. If you want to support us financially, FightfulSelect.com is one of them for your exclusive news and all the other content that we provide. We'll talk about that later, but you can also drop us a super chat here at youtube.com/Fightful. Any amount, get your question or statement read on the air, or head over to humperchats.com. Same deal. Any question, any amount, statement, read on air. Cresta, tell them how.
Listen, you big jabroni marks. You're going to head over to humperchats.com, put in your question and be like, hey, Cresta Star Joe Pearl, Impact is cool. Yeah, we'll read it. We'll give you our opinions, any dollar amount. We keep some. Happiness happens. Sean Ross Sapp is happy. Humperchats.com. Don't make me put you in the camel clutch, bruh. Ding. Bing bong. I did it for you.
She did it for me. Thank you. Tomorrow night is Against All Odds. That's Friday night. The post show will either be here on Fightful, simulcast at the same time as the SmackDown and AEW Rampage post show, or we'll head over to Fightful Overbooked and air it there. We don't know yet, but keep it locked to all of your socials. Follow Fightful, follow me, follow Cresta. We'll tell you where it's going to air, but either way, you will not be without an Against All Odds post show tomorrow night after the show goes off the air. Keep that in your mind for later. Let's get into it. BTI opens up with George Iceman, as it always does. Mr. Iceman tells us, this is scoops. Cresta, we got scoops this week. He tells us that Jordynne Grace is out of commission indefinitely and immediately. So this gets played into later on with the Giselle Shaw promo that I personally really enjoyed. It was well shot. It was well edited. It was well acted. But Jordynne Grace is effectively done with Impact Wrestling, as we reported on FightfulSelect.com. But they haven't killed her off. So they're leaving the door open for her to come back at any time. Instead, they're just writing her off and saying that she's out indefinitely, which pretty much just, I think this means that Impact is a little more, they're a little more expecting her to come back. There may be who knows? It could just be that they're being, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Cautious, gracious, leaving the open door. Maybe she's just hanging out with Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary in the Undead Realm.
I think they're optimistic, is what it is. They're optimistic that she'll come back. So anyway, that seems to be where they're going with Jordynne Grace. But yeah, that was that. Let's go into the BTI match with Sleazy Sparks versus Taylor Rising. To be honest, this is the match that I've personally seen on the Ontario Indies, which is nice. Both women getting real entrances is cool. I do not believe for 1 second that Tom Hannafin likes the CFL, because let's face it, Cresta, nobody likes the Canadian Football League or really knows what it is. 3 downs? Come on, what are you talking about? I don't even like real football in the NFL. But either way,
I blew my nose off. I'm so sorry, y'all.
That's all right. Bye Cresta Chic. She's still got the head. The headband.
Oh, it's coming right back. I didn't think I wanted to hear that. I just had to fix it. I'm so sorry. Don't look at my face.
She's terrorizing here, not Taylorizing. Either way, terrorizing hits a spike. Rana looks really good. Good back and forths, good strikes, good finish. And then out comes Masha Slamovich. She takes out both women with a steel chain. It's officially a no contest. Masha cuts a promo in Russian. I'm sure someone will eventually have the what she had to say, the translation. But unfortunately, I speak zero Russian. Unless you do. Cresta, do you speak Russian?
I understood Killer Kelly, Dog Collar. Duolingo's doing wonders.
All right. Good stuff. Wonderful. But anyway, great promo. Listen, we talk about this with other wrestlers all the time. If you're speaking your mother tongue and it's still, it's got that gravitas, it's going to sound good. It's going to be a good promo like that. It happens with Japanese wrestlers in English all the time. People say, oh, why don't we have subtitles? Sometimes you don't need them. Sometimes it's just the conviction in your voice is good enough to get the emotion through. And that's what happened with Masha tonight with this promo. Do you have anything to add about Sparks and Rising in the match that they had until it was tossed out?
That whole time I was there, I was like, who's going to win this match? Because they were very even and they played up both of these girls. And honestly, I have to give props because they gave me very much, you want to go outside and fight? Yeah, I want to go outside and fight. And then these girls actually went outside and fought. It's a good match. Solid match. Good match.
Yeah, it was a good match. Again, something that personally I've seen, and I'm glad that more people are getting to see out there in Impact Land. And hopefully they'll start seeing more of Silesia and Tara as time goes on. When AEW comes to town, I think they usually call Silesia Sparks. Hopefully, and Tara Rising has done a spot there too, as Taylor Rising. So I feel like when Forbidden Door is in town at the end of this month in June, they'll probably be back. But who knows what their status is with AEW, working with Impact and all that stuff. Let's go into the Impact main show. Chris Bay takes on Jason Hotch. Myers comes out with the Good Brothers and says, Subculture skipped the line. That's how they got their title shot. And it was ridiculous, but it only bought Ace of Base some time. And at Against All Odds, time is up, but there's no need to worry, says the Good Brothers, especially these subhuman Canadians. Come on, man. That's not nice.
I mean, they've been giving it to y'all. Impact's really been giving it to the Canadians. Holy shit.
They hate us. I don't get it. Anyways, it's tomorrow night. The Impact tag titles will be in good hands. You get it? Anyway, Hannafin points out that Good Hands won a singles match, therefore they don't deserve a tag title shot. And I was like, that's a good point.
It's a singles match. What do you want? That's not how it works.
Bay gets hit with the flavor. It's a really, really good move. But of course, that's after the match because Bay wins. This is actually a good finish. I love this. Hotch goes for a victory roll. Bay counters it into a pin of his own. He picks up the win earlier in the match. Hotch caught Bay while he's trying to do the art of finesse, turns it into a Blue Thunder Bomb. I like the strength, the good show of strength. Post-match is what I was getting into. I got ahead of myself. Skylar and Myers go after Ace of Bay's, both of them. Myers hits the roster cut on Ace. Bay tries to make the save, but he gets beaten down. And then Bay gets hit with the move that they call the Favor, which is a blockbuster Samoan drop double team that I love. It looks really good, looks innovative, and it looks like you can hit it on just about anyone. So that's a good finisher in my books. What do you think of the match? What do you think of the post-match?
I was going to bring up the same thing with the art of finesse being countered into that Blue Thunder Bomb. But besides that, the match was fine. The whole thing was fine. The post-match, I just find it ironic that the Bullet Club is outnumbered. Who would have thought? I'm so surprised that the Bullet Club is outnumbered. I think they mentioned that on commentary, or at least Matthew Raywalt did. And it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, where are the rest of the Bullet Club? There's so many Bullet Club members anywhere. Like, somebody got to be free. Somebody got to be. I'm trying to think of a Bullet Club member, and everyone I keep kind of no, they got kicked out. No, they got kicked out. I don't think they're still in Bullet Club. Like, I want to say, what's Tama doing? No, he's out. What's Evil doing? Is he still in Bullet Club? Like, there's so many. What?
House of Torture.
There's so many, like, but I still know there's enough Bullet Club members that someone. Tongaloa in Bullet Club, or is he out too?
Tongaloa is out. Tama Tonga's in the G1.
Okay, I don't know who's in the Bullet Club.
Both are not part of Bullet Club actively, no.
Somebody's in Bullet Club. Somebody got to come help them.
Bullet Club just they just kind of restocked a little bit. You know, David Finlay is now the leader. They kicked out Jay White, although Jay White won't tell you that Finlay's a good leader. There's a lot of dojo guys that are suddenly in Bullet Club. You've got Alex Coughlin. You've got Gabe Kidd just joined. I don't think he's not a dojo guy per se. Kenta is still stateside. He's another one who could show up.
So what you doing, Kenta? Like, I'm just saying in general.
Clark Connors is another one. It's honestly, so what's interesting about what you're saying is that they're running another multiverse show on August 20th. So we still have a few months until that happens. But like, it's there. It's a possibility that they finally get some friends, but I don't think the friends should be going after good runners or the good hands.
No, I agree, but I just find it ironic that Bullet Club of all people are getting jumped.
Right, the irony is absolutely there. Anyway, let's move on. The category is Iron Sheik. Are you gonna vote?
Jabroni. Hogan is a jabroni.
Gia Miller is with Heath, and Heath is back. He wasn't at the last taping. He says he's upset. Well, he was, but he wasn't on screen. Anyway, Heath's upset that Rhino was injured by Macklin. He says his plan is to win the 8-4-1 match, win the Impact World Championship by beating Macklin, but tonight he's going to take out Champagne Singh. And I'm just like, none of that is, well, the last thing is going to happen. But other than that, none of this is going to happen. I'm just going to jump forward. Heath wins. He beats Champagne Singh with the house call. I have no other notes.
Yeah, me either. I went to the bathroom and I came back and this man was getting his hat. Like, I literally just went to go potty. Like, what? And yeah. Good job, Heath. I'm sorry you're about to get beat up in that 8-4-1. Sorry.
I mean, he's going to make it to the final four, but then he's just going to probably eat the pin. Or Gresham. We still haven't figured that out. We'll talk about that. We'll give our predictions for Against All Odds at the end of this review. Dango. This was actually a really good promo. This time they're switching. Instead of doing the black and white and sepia tones, they're doing a color promo and then black and white background. It was, again, it's still a little confusing what they're trying to do with Dango. But then when he comes out later on in the Hendry match, when we get to that, I very much look forward to that. But the Dango promo, it's still... I don't think it's tongue in cheek. I think it's very much Dango's playing the, wrestlers these days have no respect. They just want to be on social media. He's doing one of those gimmicks, and I'm personally, Cresta, I'm very sick of those. I don't know how you feel about it before we get into the Dango stuff itself. Do you have anything to add to that?
Actually, I'm liking his promos. I agree. The first time I saw it, I was like, hey, is he memeing? Does he know he's cutting a real promo? No, I think he's really like, I can do that. What? Yeah, I'm a super serious wrestler, but it's still giving me sure Jan. It's giving me goofy goober still. I don't hate it. I actually don't hate it. It's something completely new for Dango. And I think for once, I kind of believe that Dango may take the title off of Hendry.
Wow. You think so?
I mean, it's a nice gimmick change. And at this point, it's kind of giving... I'm going to beat myself before I let Joe Hendry beat me. Because I think that maybe Dango might have won that match. But you punched Joe Hendry in the dick. Let's be for real here. That's what you did. 10,000 years of pain. So you got him in the butt. I mean, in a wee-wee. So it's like, bro, I think that this super serious, right, you got a good look. You got the great look. You're rich, sure, whatever. I feel like Moose just did that. But, like, I think that this refresh gives him a chance to be serious, and a good way to make him serious is his shock title change. And I think that'd be great here. I wouldn't hate it.
Of all the titles that are on the line tomorrow night at Against All Odds, this is the one that I most see changing hands out of everything. Let's talk about the promo. So Dango says, he's asked why the change in demeanor. And he says, I've played Fandango because I was paid a lot. And I took that money, I invested it, got a big return, and I'm in a spot in life now where I don't need to play this clown. I don't even need to be here, but I'll take your money. And someone asked, what's the reception so far? What someone asks is really just they write it out on the screen for him to answer, like promo beat for beat. And he says, now wrestlers are texting him, oh, that was a cool promo. And he's like, I don't want to talk to wrestlers. And then they flash forward to him in the parking lot talking to fans. And he's just like, where are you from? Are you local to London? Fans are like, yeah. And he's just like, I'm so sorry.
He's such a jerk.
He's such a dick. He says, like, if someone wants to pay Dango to not be on TV, I'll accept it. I won't complain. I won't complain on Twitter. I won't say a word about how I'm not being used. Just pay me and I'll be the best employee you ever had. And then he basically just says, like, the 5X Dango shirts won't cover up the smell. Take a shower, have some respect. And then I'm going to win that digital media championship. And he says, if I were most of the locker room here, I would have already ordered my replica title online the day that I won the title. But unfortunately, I can pull real life girls. Says the last thing I want to do is bring a girl home who sees the replica title on my wall. And he says, do you think Harley Race would have a toy title on his mantle? And I'm thinking to myself,
yeah, he would.
Kid, you need that title to be representative of your crafts.
Is this Harley Race or Vince McMahon?
No, this is Harley Race.
Okay.
Vince McMahon is a lot more.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
He's angrier. Anyway, yeah, Harley Race. What's your finish, kid? It's a moonsault. I'll move. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorite lines. Anyway, Dango says if he wins the title against all odds, he'll take the list. He'll take the thing. He'll list it on eBay and take the proceeds and go to Hawaii with a girl.
I'll be that girl, Dango. What's up? I'm trying to go to Hawaii. We can be jabronis together.
Y'all been to Hawaii? It's expensive as hell.
I've never been to Hawaii. I'm poor.
I have flown through Hawaii while I was on a gig. Had like 5 hours there.
You are super cool. I wish I could be I want to be you when I grow up, Joel.
No, you don't. That gig was hell. The 3 hours sorry, not 3 hours in Hawaii. The 5 hours in Hawaii were like the 3 hours that I spent trying to deal with Hawaii Air. Anyway, a whole other story. Design segment. Design say Angels is like, I never trusted you, Sammy. I knew it was a ploy to try and take down the design from the inside. And then you tricked us all, yada, yada, yada. Now Sammy's going to pay in his cesspool state of Ohio, which is true, by the way.
True. It is true. We don't make the rules. I know that. And I'm from New York. I don't make the rules.
Yeah, noted cesspool of Ohio. I don't make the rules. Anyway. Says if it's a war you want, it's a war you've got. The design will take from Sammy everything tomorrow night against all odds. Good promo. Listen, this is the angriest we've seen the design, and I kind of like that story. What do you think of this whole thing?
I thought this was one of the best promos the design has delivered since the untimely death of Eric Young. This is one of the best promos. Everyone made it very clear that they were mad, but Dina really drove the point home. I'm going to take from you until you have nothing left, and then I will take nothing from you. I will take everything from you, and I believe it. I believe it. I believe that Alan Angels is finally going to give us the little Tasmanian devil that we deserve, and Dina will finally pin Samuel Callahan.
Wow. I mean,
I think they'll do it in Ohio for the memes.
I mean, I talked about that with either with you or with other people.
I think it was with me.
Yeah, and I said this is the design. They have to win this match because we have to go to Sammy versus Diener one-on-one at Slammiversary, and it would make no sense for the design to go in with like 0 wins and 0 momentum on the big shows. So yeah, they should get the win. Madman Fulton's coming in. If you had Madman Fulton on your bingo card for who's the third man brother, he is the third man brother. So he will be joining that team on Friday night, which is good. Looking forward to that. And yeah, speaking of looking forward to it, Sheldon Jean and Joe Hendry, they have a rematch from the
I'm ready this time.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I'm excited. This is a good match. Listen.
You're welcome.
I didn't realize you had the thing going. I thought you were ready with something else.
Nah. I have the other one.
Perfect.
You're not welcome.
Anyway, Hendry comes out and says, tonight's opponent is the man who broke my nose, reality star Sheldon Jean, who is under the tutelage of another reality star, Kenny King. Says, this isn't reality TV. This is Impact Wrestling. And here to stick an Impact, all you have to do is say the 2 magic words, we believe, and then out come King and Jean. And this match, again, just like in Toronto, this was a really good match. Hendry giving a lot to Jean. Jean looks great. King trips up Hendry early and allows Jean to take the advantage with the pump kick. They do a really good Hendry powering out of the guillotine spot that leads to a suplex, and up power bomb into the standing ovation gets the win for Joe Hendry. And then really this is the real deal. This is the post match. Hendry grabs a mic, calls out Dirty Dango. It was like call out people on the mic after your match night. It was like everyone gets a motivational win, and then everyone calls out their opponent for against all odds. Hendry calls out Dango. Dango comes out and he says, I hate pro wrestling. And I'm like, I get it. And then he says, the only thing I hate more than pro wrestling are pro wrestling fans. And I'm like, again, I get it.
I get it, Dango. I hate wrestling and I hate pro wrestling fans. Look at this jabroni Mark dressed up like Iron Sheik.
I get it. And then Dango says he won't be tricked into fighting for free on his day off, and I love that. And then Joe Hendry says, well, I'm going to debut a new song, and it's all about trying to figure out where Dango went wrong. Oh my God. I'm just going to read you the lyrics, but I really think you should go and find the stupid, amazing song that Joe Hendry wrote. It basically says the chorus is, you beat Chris Jericho 1, 2, 3 to dressing up with Tyler every week, talking about Tyler Breeze and Breezango. It says it started when you got rejected by Summer and Eva. That's Eva Marie and Summer Rae, when you were trying to get laid on Total Divas. Oh, this was so good.
Joe Hendry is a menace to society.
So good.
What a good song. What banger tweet. Hit said, yo, bro, as someone who memes almost every song that they hear, him just coming up with lyrics and doing real. Listen, this is $2. He does it for 99 cents. He just puts a printout over his face. Oh, it's so bad. It's so good. It's so good. He said, rejected by Total Divas. I wrote on my thing, art, and then Matthew Raywell is also a commentary genius. He said, if I was Dago, I would be upset too at this besmirchment. What are you doofing, smirts? Like, bro, he's using his SAT words for real.
This was just excellent. Not since the Cardona rap, the Cardona song, have we had such fantastic musical stylings from Joe Hendry. This was really good. Go out of your way to find it. It's on Impact Socials. It's everywhere. They're going to be pumping this for the next 24 hours because it was good and it's very funny. This was a lot of fun. And then, of course, King and Gene go to beat up Joe Hendry. Santino comes out to make the save. Gene kind of like Sheldon Gene just kind of stands up to Santino, steps backwards and runs into Hendry, who then does the switcheroo, and Santino hits Sheldon Gene with the Cobra. So obviously Santino will be evening up the odds in this whole weird thing that we're doing.
When Dango said he hates wrestlers, this is why.
I felt that.
I felt that.
Got it. Anyway, another quick match, KO tag titles, Knockouts tag titles, Death Dolls take on the Coven. Really, the whole point of this thing was Wild is in the sharpshooter while Kyle and King and Jessica are outside fighting. Wild is tapping out to Courtney Rush's sharpshooter. Referee doesn't see it because she's too busy trying to tend to the outside. So instead, King tries to get back in the ring. She slugs Courtney Rush, takes her out. Wild sets up King for the big boot to Courtney Rush, gets the pin. Coven retain. I don't really have much else to say. I thought they were kind of wait a little bit, but it feels like the Death Dolls story is going to move away from the Knockouts tag titles. How do you feel about this, and what do you think is going on with both teams, the Coven and Death Dolls?
Sorry, I didn't mean for that to come out.
That was the best part.
That was the best part. Best review. I actually feel the opposite. I'm thinking to me, and maybe I'll just watch too much wrestling, a visual pin indicates that it's somewhere relatively soon you're gonna get another title shot. Maybe not at Against All Odds, but what's the next one after Against All Odds? Not
Slammiversary.
Slammiversary. I could see it happening at Slammiversary. That would be okay. I just want to point out too, also in that match, that spinning neck breaker that Kylan King did to Courtney Rush. That was my brain still doesn't know how that happened. I've seen it, I've rewinded, and my brain is just like, it was really beautiful. Kudos to them. But I think that it's gonna change hands, not at Against All Odds, but probably at Slammiversary. I could see it.
Yeah, you know what? I could see them running it back. Sorry, I don't know. I had my finger on my mute button and I had my fan in the other hand. I pressed the wrong button. I'm having a day. I can see them running this back. There is a reason to do it, right? They had a little bit of a schmaz finish with the sharpshooter and the tap out, and they can cover this into another Death Dolls and Coven match. You're right, and that the Coven lose to Death Dolls at Slammiversary, it could be fun. And again, talking about the whole Can-Am Dojo connection and Scott D'Amore, you can run it again where the Coven, Courtney Rush, who is a Can-Am Dojo graduate, gets a win in her not hometown, but where she did a lot of her training.
Yeah.
So there we go. The Alex Shelley promo was really good. What do you think about this? He definitely made a lot of good points here.
I absolutely Now I'm going to relate this to a lot of drag. And Alex Shelley said, I have been the house mother for all of your favorites. I've inspired your favorites. I've trained your favorites, and I've made them champions. When does Alex Shelley get to be jealous? When does Alex Shelley get to be that guy? And I really believe him. And I feel the same way I felt with that Frankie Kazarian thing when they did for him, detailing his life, the first 1 or 2 ones. I want him to win. I know it's not going to happen. And it kind of gives me sympathy and empathy for Shelley, because it's like, Macklin absolutely deserves to be champion right now. Absolutely. But at some point, so does Shelley and Kazarian. At some point, how much not to say like they're old and decrepit, go take them out back, but like how much longer, how much longer? I respect and I understand the decision to put on Macklin, because again, Macklin absolutely deserves to be champion. But damn, Shelley, it happens with Shelley and Sabin, but at least Sabin was champion before.
Yeah, it's true. And I do like that Shelley is so he's gracious, but he's driven.
Yeah.
Okay. So he talks about having been an impact when AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, Sting, Samoa Joe, Jeff Jarrett, they were all crowned world champions. He was there for that. So his company's core beliefs are best represented by Josh Alexander, which like to me was a little bit weird. And then he tried to turn it into like the loss to Josh Alexander when Josh was champion was a learning experience. And now he's going to, take that into his match against Macklin. He puts over all the generations of talent that he worked with and elevated and made better. Mentions Tyler Black. So he mentions Seth Rollins. He mentions Kazuchika Okada. He mentions Johnny Gargano and the Young Bucks and Jay White, Jonathan Gresham, Chris Sabin, Trey Miguel. And he's right. He has worked with all of those champions in Impact, no less. He's worked with all of those people. And so he said, this is my time. It's time for Shelley. Macklin is not a better wrestler than him. He's not world champion material. And Shelley says, I'm going to prove it. And I like this. It makes sense because you're building to a match where most people are just looking past it and looking to whoever wins the 8-4-1 match. Presumably it's Nick Aldis, and we'll talk about it when we give our predictions for Against All Odds. But I like that they're at least trying to make it feel like Shelley has some sort of chance, or that he's working towards a very serious title match against Steve Macklin.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things where I super care about it, maybe a little bit more than yesterday. More than last week. But it's also one of those things where it's like, damn, I want you to win. That's the problem when you've got great wrestlers, great baby faces. Because even when Macklin tapped to, let me not do air quotes, because he did tap to Kushida, I was still like, damn, but I still want Macklin to win. That's, you know what I mean? Like, I feel that way for Alex Shelley, but there's only 2 outcomes: is winners or losers. So it made me care. So you did a good job. You did a good job. Dobby the Brain Heenan hits us with a super chat saying they've done a great job in a 2-week span to have me all in on wanting Shelley to win the title. He won't, but man, have they sold it well. And it's true. They've done a good job of selling you on the match, and that's pretty good. If Shelley just walked in and was just like, yeah, I'm gonna win the title, that wouldn't be enough. But because of promos like this, it sets the tone. It makes me more interested in the match. I was already looking forward to it on a wrestling level. Now I believe in a story level in this match. Yeah, because let's say in the chaos dimension, that they put the belt on Alex Shelley, it would be a shock. We'd all be like, oh, but we wouldn't be upset. We'd be like, okay, but it's Alex Shelley. Come on now, it's Alex Shelley. Come on now, you can be mad, but it's Alex Shelley. And I think that is a good thing to have. I care about it. I want both of them to win, and that's not possible.
AO Productions hitting us with a super chat saying Alex Shelley or Frankie Kazarian will finish their story before Cody. LOL. Listen. Everyone's trying to finish. Mustafa Ali is in NXT. He's trying to finish his story. I'm sure Baron Corbin's mentioned it too. Everyone's trying to finish their story. Okay.
Why are you trying to finish your story? You trying to retire?
Listen, if you've been doing it long enough, you want to, get to the top and then just get all the money.
I respect it.
I do
Some
too.
people never finish their story.
That's right. Especially in WWE, because in WWE, the story never ends. I'm not doing the Triple H thing here. Steve Macklin, goddamn Bell. Steve Macklin retorts in his own promo. He says, Alex Shelley, he's coveting this title that's around his waist. He says Nick Aldis is also coveting this title, and there are people coming at him from every direction, even from his side. I like this. In walks Bully Ray on Macklin's side, puts his arm around Macklin and says, I like you, Steve Macklin. You don't need to worry about those other names. You just need to worry about me. But not until Slammiversary. Quick, easy, reminds you that Bully's after him. What do you think of this?
No. I feel like Michael Scott in The Office when he whispers softly, no, please. We just did this. We literally, no. We just did this. I get it. I see the method to Bully's madness. You are such an omega heel that you elevate even Macklin, who's already a heel, because everyone hates you, and you know it. You're okay with it. Fine. Who cares about a little heat? But my problem is, it's like we literally just did this. If you change the story from I'll wait till you for after Slammiversary to you have my word. Please. The match is going to be a banger when it eventually happens. I feel like you and I say this about Bully and PCO specifically. It's going to be good when it happens. But until that time, in true wrestling fashion, I'm complaining. What did you feel about it, Joel?
I mean, I don't think Bully's going to be facing Macklin, but that's a whole other can of worms.
I kind of agree with that, and I also feel that way about Aldis because of the 841. Just my opinion.
Oh, I think Aldis is winning the 841.
I mean, it depends on what team he's in. I don't know who's on what.
He's on the team with Bully and Heath and Jonathan Gresham. He is winning that 841. The other side.
No, we'll talk about it after. I'm like, well, who's on the other team?
When you hear the other side, it ain't going to be much better. They tried to make PCO a thing tonight, but we'll talk about that. Trey Miguel takes on Bhupinder Gujjar. It's a first time ever match at Impact. It's fine. He's kind of making Trey Miguel's making unserious business of Bhupinder Gujjar. He has him for most of the match. Gujjar eventually comes back, gets some kicking and some high knees in, some strikes. Eventually, Trey hits the lightning spiral, gets the win. Match is fine. It's nothing special. It's just a statement match for Trey Miguel to get the win going into Against All Odds. Post-match, this is good. Trey Miguel gets his little promo skills on. Says, I'm a generational talent, which he's been saying for the whole time. But all he ever gets when I say that is a yeah, but. By the way, sidebar. When he did that, it sounds like he was about to say, yeah, buddy. And someone in the crowd, because that's a very Canadian thing, like, yeah, buddy. Mm-hmm. Someone in the crowd responds, yeah, buddy, because they thought that's what he said.
You could hear it. Like, it was so quiet for that in that moment. To quote the new quote that I heard all week, you could hear a rat piss on cotton. It was so quiet when he said that.
But he makes sense. He's like, all I hear is a yeah, but. He says, Trey says he is the rarest form of generational talent ever known. He's defended and retained the X Division Championship in Ultimate X, a Monsters Ball match, and against the only 8-time X Division champion, Chris Sabin. Says this Friday there will be no yeah buts. Mm-hmm. I like the promo. It makes sense. Now Trey has to capitalize on it. He has to win without cheating. He has to beat Chris Sabin to make himself known that he is unstoppable and build in his reign. I want that now. Going into this, I was like, Sabin winning makes sense because of the way the last match finished and the way Trey's been conducting himself. But now I have this renewed confidence in Trey Miguel retaining. Don't know how you feel, but if you have notes about the match or you want to talk about the promo, let's go.
Match was fine. Totally agree with you there. To me, it was simple, effective. I like how you said unserious business, because that's exactly what it was. I will say that I still see Trey Miguel cheating. I don't see him being super serious yet, but I think they may take the title off of him. This is what I'm not too sure about. But if Trey Miguel cheats, I see him retaining. I see it getting to a point where you have to put Trey Miguel in a no-holds bar. If you're going to cheat, I'm cheating right back. And Alex Shelley's not the type of person who's just going to cheat right back. Sometimes they'll play a little cheeky, but never like straight up cheating, while Trey Miguel will give you the yam bag shuffle. So I think if Trey Miguel cheats, he retains. You know what I mean? And if he doesn't, that's when he'll be like, now I gotta be super serious Dango, super serious Trey.
Super serious Trey Miguel.
I think that should be their thing. Super serious squad. SSS, super serious.
Please
squad.
no. Please, God, no. Speaking of the super serious squad, here comes Gia Miller with Swingman. I love the introduction, and the camera just kind of zooms out, and she's got to wheel him in on the stupid thing.
God.
Gia Miller asked the first question, and Swingman calls her Vanna, and I just
bro.
Oh, it's so stupid. I love it.
Johnny Swing is not a real person.
Swingman's like, I'm the best pro wrestler in the golden era. Name a wrestler and I'm better than him. And go ahead, name one. It says Big John Studd. It says I slammed him. They said name one that's still wrestling. And so Gia Miller says Action Mike Jackson. And he says still owes me for trans, but he's a good kid.
Bro. And Johnny Swinger could just stand there and I'm laughing.
Yes.
I'm just, yo, he's the best worst. Like honestly, truly the best worst.
Give him a main event at the Chuckle Hut. Here we go. It says his dad, Donnie Swinger, gave him the best advice. Says swing daddy, and then Gia stops him and says, your dad called you swing daddy? And he says, oh, swing sonny.
Without even missing a beat, he just looks like this. Swing sonny. I'm like, yo, you're the worst.
Work is work, baby. When the going gets tough, you got to find someone to pass the heat to. He says he blames the fans, then he blames Russo, he blames Kip Winger, that no good gimmick stealer. He's naming everyone that, like, if you know, you know, and it's the best. And then Swingman says, I finally figured it out. After a lot of consideration by JJ Dillon, I love the old like Crockett promotion, WCW stuff. It was the cricket referees paid off by Gene Simmons and Bob Seger that did it to me. And so that's why this whole promo is, can you get to 1 victory, let alone 50? I didn't even set this up. This is why we're doing this. And then he says, I'm sending Zicky Dice to referee school, so Swingman will have a referee in his pocket. Brilliant. Cresta star. This is the smartest thinking of a wrestler ever. Every wrestler should be considering who they can have in their pocket to get every victory imaginable.
Gotta be smart. Honestly, Macklin looking at the wrong person. It should be Johnny Swinger. You watch. I can't even say that with a straight face.
That's true. Swingman has many more years in the ring than I do. Kick my ass.
Neither one of us. I got these bad knees, yo.
I get it. My knees are okay, I guess.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. My
I'm
knees.
an impatient cow tonight. It's the Iron Sheik in me. I'm just
go for it.
Randomly just caught my eye. H-Shock says Swingman is a time traveler. As I struck my mustache, I mean, you mean Bobby Fish?
Who had a great interview, by the way, with SB3 from True Heel Heat this past week. Go check that out.
I think I will. I think I shall. A
lot of preconceived notions were busted in that interview, so go check it out.
Imagine not actually knowing a wrestler from what you see on TV. Let's go Johnny Swinger, Ham and Egger. Next thing.
You ready?
My body is ready.
Gia Miller is backstage again. This is a Gia Miller heavy episode. Backstage with Deonna Purrazzo and Trinity. Trinity calls Giselle, Savannah, and Jay Vidal dangerous people. But Deonna says, well, you're stepping into a ring with a woman that I've already beat. So, this is a game she's already lost. Trinity says Deonna can trust her because they have bigger fish to fry tomorrow night against all odds. And then Gianna asks the very important question, can they coexist? And Deonna says, I can put my ego aside for the plan, and that she doesn't plan on losing tomorrow night. Trinity says Deonna won't have to worry about her tomorrow, but she will at Slammiversary. Setting up the match, very simple. Sit down. The Giselle Shaw segment that actually, let's just dig into it now, and we'll talk about both. Because I think actually accidentally I skipped over it, didn't I?
Jeez.
Yeah, I did. It was before the knockout title match. So Giselle Shaw, they're all in a part of the venue that is like, because it's an agriplex, so it's like a big open silo barn type of thing, and they were filming a bunch of vignettes in this place. It looked really good. So anyway, they do a walking in kind of stutter step entrance, and Giselle's celebrating the fact that they took out Jordan Grace with 3 denouement, and then says that Jordynne Grace is out indefinitely as a result, as reported by George Iceman. Giselle tells Trinity, "This is my house and rent's due, bitch." And then she says she's taking back her spotlight and that it belongs to her. This was a really good promo, in my opinion. It set the tone. It was well shot. It was well put together, well edited. It looked good. It was just right for Giselle Shaw. What do you think of this? And what do you think of the sit down with Gia Miller and Trinity and Deonna Purrazzo?
With the exception of Gia Miller, because Gia Miller don't need to be over. She's already over. She's already over.
That's right.
All 5 people looked really great in this. Let's start with Trinity. That latex outfit, oh my God, I need that. I don't know where you got it. I need it. And those thigh-high boots, and I seeked it. Oh, that was so good. So good. So good. When she called Jay Vidal, Du Boy Jay, I popped. Because that sounds like something my grandma would say. You hanging out with them kids, you're going to be a Du Boy. You're going to do whatever they say. I lived. Giselle Shaw has gotten so much better with promos. So much better in everything. That tonight, her, Evans, and Vidal all looked real good. Like, okay. And I don't care if you want to get together. We knocked out Jordynne Grace, who I think we had spoke, if it wasn't you, it was myself, Steven Jensen, and Jeremy Lambert. We had spoke about Jordynne Grace essentially being number 2 if Deonna's number 1, and if I'm Giselle Shaw and I put out number 2 indefinitely, I'm the man. I ain't worried about no damn Trinity, and I definitely ain't worried about no damn Deonna, because Jordynne Grace is only number 2 of a bad night, if you will, because it could have been Deonna or Grace. So I get it. I think Deonna here is giving she's a great face. But I also feel like Deonna, she's I don't know, is giving heel. No matter what she does, I feel like she's going to break somebody off. I'm here for it. I like it.
It's true, but I like the fact that they're not leaning into Deonna just being a champion that is a POS, right? She's not a jerk. She wants to be a reputable champion. She wants to represent the Knockouts fairly and graciously, but she's not afraid to beat your ass to do it.
Facts.
So I like that they're telling the story that, I don't think it's not even that she's a bad guy. It's not even that she's a bitch. It's just that she's dominant.
She's good. She's good.
And you can tell that story while being a babyface, and they're doing that, and they're doing a good job with it. She is confident. And I think that is something that is sometimes lost in wrestling, the confident champion that isn't cocky. And she is really good at being a confident champion without coming off as cocky in this case.
I also feel like sometimes if you are even confident, people will say that you're cocky, or they'll say like, oh, this person is a heel persona. No, I just feel like her charisma is uniquely heel. Like some people, like even when you talk, it's like, damn, I believe it. But also, do I believe it?
And that's what's going to make the match with Trinity really strange, but really good. It's a babyface match, unless one of them turns, which again, I don't think so either. I think I don't know. The good news is like Giselle Shaw is so good at being that arrogant, cocky heel, like we just mentioned with the opposite in Deonna Purrazzo. Giselle could talk her way into making the match a 3-way at Slammiversary. I don't hate that, but it at least gives a little bit more to the match than what it is right now with Trinity and Deonna. Eventually, the two of them are going to have to hate each other. It could be a match built on respect.
Yeah.
If they do one-on-one Deonna and Trinity, which is a really good match. Adding Giselle wouldn't be a loss, but I'm also bigger on doing a one-on-one match than doing a triple threat. So I don't know how you feel about the idea of adding Giselle Shaw, or if you just would keep it the way that it is and have it one-on-one Deonna and Trinity.
I think if you do a one-on-one, it elevates either woman's stock. If you have if you have Trinity pin Deonna, ooh. If you have Deonna pin Trinity, that's delicious. I don't think you need Giselle to eat the pin in that to put somebody over. I could see it if you want to protect somebody. I could see it, but I don't think you need to. I think it would make everyone involved, win, lose, or draw, look really good here. Really good. I could see Giselle Shaw talking her way into it, say, well, Savannah Evans ate the pin, and that's not my fault. So therefore, ergo, I should. But again, I feel like to me, making it a 3-way means that you don't have confidence in somebody and you need a scapegoat there. And I think that no matter who eats the pin or who wins, the other person's still going to be better for it.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree, especially what you just said about adding a third person sometimes loses that gravitas, that it loses some momentum towards one other person. But if you don't want to lose momentum and you always want to be on top, you can subscribe to us here at FightfulSelect.com. Best $5 in the business. Come on, man. Just tonight alone, we dropped news on Mercedes Moné, talking about Trinity, by the way, her bestie, Mercedes Moné, and the talks that may or may not have happened with AEW heading into Forbidden Door. Also some Forbidden Door news involving Kenta. Could he be having a match with the one and only Chicago-made Punk? We'll find out on FightfulSelect.com, along with some AEW Collision news, WWE news. If you want the betting odds for Against All Odds, guess what? We have those over on FightfulSelect.com right now. $5. That's, you get it all the news that's fit to muck, and all the other content. You get your sour grabs with Alex Pulowski and with Miss Kate Fabe. You get your Weekender podcast with Steven Jensen. You get your Coexisting After Dark with Rob and Maggie, and so much more. SRS does a Q&A. He does the backstage report. He does a billion things. $5 get you in the door. FightfulSelect.com. Go ahead, join up, get all the news. We'll have a bunch of scoops, I'm sure of it, from Against All Odds over at FightfulSelect.com. Let's talk about this main event.
It's time for the main event. Wait, where's my Mark Henry microphone? Sorry. It's time.
He's too busy. Moose and Rich Swann take on Jonathan Gresham and Nick Aldis. Again, one of these things is not like the other, as Rich Swann teams with Moose. Listen, Aldis just is leading up to Aldis having a hot tag. Good stuff with Moose. He does a Michinoku driver, does Nick Aldis, gets that big elbow in 2.9. Swann, this is the finish. Swann hits a cutter on Jonathan Gresham, sets him up for the Phoenix Splash, but Moose tags himself in. Swann and Moose argue as expected. Powerbomb from Gresham to Swann. Swann's not the legal man, so he can't get pinned. So Moose hits the powerbomb on Gresham and gets the win. Everyone argues. Then Aldis gets involved. Then Heath joins the fray. And then Swann's about to dive to the outside, and Bully Ray takes him out. And then PCO jumps in, and they brawl. And then everyone goes to the outside except for PCO, who does a big dive. Does not take out Bully, does not take out Aldis. So PCO, Aldis, and Bully are all standing as the show goes off the air. So they're trying to make Bully, Aldis, and PCO the big men who are going to be in this match on tomorrow night as like the guys to watch. What do you think of the match, Cresta, start of this tag match? Is there anything that you want to add? And then we can talk about the dust up at the end going into our predictions for tomorrow night.
If anyone's going to beat Moose, it's going to be himself. Moose did not have to wrestle that heel. Also, Moose and Swann, for whatever reason, just reminded me of Moose and Squirrel. I just wanted to say Moose and Squirrel all night. If you get it, you get it. If you ever seen Rocky and Bullwinkle, you get it. Yes. That's all I wanted to say was Moose and Squirrel all night. He didn't have to be a jerk to Rich Swann, and I think commentary made a good point. You can't act like this tomorrow, Moose. Also, if Swann is on the same team, and I think he is on the same team with Moose, it's like, bro, you're going to have to let that rock if you want to get to the next part. It's all right. I'm tired of them throwing Jonathan Gresham, who in the beginning of the match got yeeted into the turnbuckle side. Justice for Jonathan Gresham. If I'm Jonathan Gresham, I'm going in and I'm smacking everyone with a kendo stick because I'm tired of y'all disrespecting me like I'm not a good wrestler. When Moose said, fine, I'll do it myself, if I was Rich Swann, I would have left. At that point, I would have left. Because you're not going to say you're going to do it yourself, not tag me in. And then when you get your ass beat, now it's like, brother, Scar, help me. No, I'm not helping you. Mufasa. I'm sorry. You better go work it out the antelope. Sorry.
No,
I get the deep end there.
No, I get it. Anyway, this all plays into tomorrow night. Against All Odds. We will have a post show either on Fightful.com or on FightfulOverbooked.com. Just take a look at our socials. We'll give you the links. You'll get it all. Let's run down this card real quick, make quick predictions. For the Impact World Heavyweight Championship, Steve Macklin defends against Alex Shelley. Feels like a no-brainer. Steve Macklin will retain. Cresta the Star. Do you agree?
I agree. Sorry, Alex Shelley.
Well, look at that. We agree on that. Let's get to the next one. The 8-4-1 match. It's a number one contendership match for the Impact World Championship. The winner faces, presumably, Steve Maclin at Slammiversary. This match starts as an 8-man tag. The winning team gets a 4-way match that starts immediately. One man is the victor, hence 8-4-1. Bully Ray, Jonathan Gresham, Heath, and Nick Aldis are on one team. Moose, Mike Bailey, Rich Swan, and PCO are the other team. So again, PCO being the representative from the other side that you think maybe, but then it's Bully and Nick Aldis on the other side.
Okay, so it's definitely Bully and Nick Aldis team winning.
Yes.
Who else is on that team?
Gresham and Heath. So really the battle is who's going to eat the pin. And which guy's gonna pin which?
It's gonna be Gresham, and I don't want to hear that. Okay, if I'm Jonathan Gresham, I'm coming to Impact and I'm hitting everyone with a kendo stick. I've fucking had it. I don't know, dog. I don't know. My gut wants to say Nick Aldis, but I don't think Bully's gonna let that slide. And I could see a situation where you let Gresham or Heath win to get the shit beat out of them by Maclin. Did you win? Did you really win? Did you really win? You want an ass beaten.
I think somebody gets involved and Bully Ray doesn't win. Or alternatively, if you want to stretch this out a couple of more weeks at the tapings, you can have a double pin. Aldis and Bully pin Heath and Gresham at the same time, and then they have to do one more match at Impact tapings to set up who's going to face Maclin at Slammiversary. I don't think they're going to do that. I think it's just going to be Nick Aldis gets the win. They're going to say, oh, we outlasted 7 other men and he is the number one contender. Look how great Nick Aldis is. And Bully Ray will have to face, I don't know, my dad at
Scott D'Amore?
Yes, it'll be Bully and Scott D'Amore at Slammiversary, and it'll be tight, a career versus contract or something like that.
Or Bully Ray could be tight that he lost this, is still holding on to it. And then when it's time for Aldis versus Maclin, you thought this was a fair fight. You took my spot. And now Aldis, I don't care. You will get nothing because I'm Bully Ray and I'm a 3-year-old. Wah.
I think Bully's just a red herring in this title picture. I think that's all it is. Or that's going to be, title. It'll be contract, and it'll be, if I beat you, Scott D'Amore, I get next for the Impact World title, and I get an extension, and I take over your job. And, but the whole story here is like this is all leading to Slammiversary and the Bully Ray blow off. It has to be.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with you then, Nick Aldis, because I don't know who to pick. Because no matter who it is, you've won a first class ticket to Steve Maclin Pain Train. You won an ass whooping. That's what you won.
That's what I'm gonna do to Steve Maclin in August. I'm gonna take him to town. No weights.
You're wild. I respect you. I'll see you in hell, Joel.
I'm gonna take him out. I'm gonna do it. I swear. I got this. I'm gonna beat him. Anyway, Nick Aldis, I think, is walking out with this, and then we're all gonna say, "What's all this then?" For the X Division Championship, Trey Miguel defends against Chris Sabin. Will Sabin become a 9-time champion, or will Trey Miguel get rid of the yes buts?
I think Trey Miguel is gonna cheat. They keep bringing up that this is the 3rd longest X Division reign. It's giving I'm about to do a long X Division reign. That's what it's giving right now. That seems to be the trend. I have to beat this title reign, and I gotta beat this title reign. So that's what it's giving. Trey Miguel's about to cheat Chris Sabin out of his boots.
Ryan Sullivan asking me if I said that I was about to take Steve Maclin to Pound Town. Absolutely not. I was not.
Pound Town. Pound Town.
I was not about to say that. Nowhere near that. I swear to God, not that. So that wasn't what I was going to say. What are you talking about? You were thinking that. Anyway.
There's another lyric, but I won't say it. But Pound Town. Pound Town.
Stop it. Trey Miguel, I think, will get the win and retain his X Division Championship. Ace of Base defend their World Tag titles against the Good Hands with Brian Myers in their corner. Listen, the big shock here is Good Hands if they cheat to win. That's the one title match that I'm a little in the air about, but I think Ace of Base is going to retain. What do you think, Cresta Star?
I'm saying the Bullet Club is going to win. There's going to be a lot of cheating. But I need to remind some of you guys out here that Ace Austin was a cheater back in the day, so you can't outdo the doer. So I'm going to go ahead and say that it is Bullet Club, because if the Good Hands win the title, woof.
I think somewhere down the line, the Good Hands are going to win the Impact World Tag Team titles. I do.
I agree.
I think once they shed themselves of Brian Myers, that's going to be when it happens. But for now, this is a good opportunity for them. This is going to be a showcase. This is going to get a lot of people talking about Good Hands because they're both really, really good wrestlers. They're both very capable. Gimmick is what it is, but you see them working and it works right now.
Yeah.
They're a good tag team. I still think Ace of Base have a lot left to offer, especially Quadzilla Ace Austin.
Not Quadzilla.
Just going by what Gia calls us.
I mean, she's allowed.
No, it's canon, so we can talk about it. For the Digital Media Championship, Joe Hendry defends against Dirty Dango, super serious wrestler Dirty Dango. Is this Joe Hendry losing the title to Dango? Is Dango going to put the title on eBay and go to Hawaii? What are we doing?
I low-key feel like it may change hands. I felt this way last pay-per-view Under Siege that it was going to change hands. And like we said, Dango did the Yam Bag Shuffle. So I would not be surprised if this changes hands. And if it doesn't change hands here, it is definitely changing hands at Slammiversary.
Really?
Yeah, I could see so let's say Joe Hendry retains and there's some type of smudge with Santino and whatnot. Maybe at Slammiversary there's a blow up, but I could also see it happening where there's a smudge and Dango wins it. And now the storyline is we got to get it off of him so you don't sell it on eBay, you piece of crap.
Okay, I like this. The one caveat that I have is you still have to pay off Santino and Dango. Santino winning the Digital Media Championship feels not great.
I hear you, but I've seen a man get buried alive, get beat brutally. I've seen Rosemary go into the demon realm and come out as Courtney Rush. I
get it.
It's a swinger dungeon, babe, daddy.
I think Joe Hendry retains, but I think we set up Dango and Santino.
Okay, I could see it. Listen, I'm a Joe Hendry stan. Don't want Joe Hendry to lose at all. However, like I said, I don't know why we're feuding over this. I think you could feud with him without it being over the championship and maybe have it build to it. But I feel like at this point, either change hands or leave it alone. Because you're right, the bigger story there is Santino and Dango. Yeah,
so I'm interested in seeing where that goes because, again, this has got to be their blow off, and we're really just going to Santino and Dango, right?
Yeah.
For the dog collar match, my God, Masha Slamovich, Killer Kelly, this is going to be a brutal affair. If Macklin doesn't bleed, then these two women will.
Oh my God. I know for a fact Masha's gonna bleed.
I think they both will. Who's gonna win this dog collar match? You got to assume that the winner is going to want to challenge or at least start racking up wins to get the Knockouts World Championship match after Slammiversary. Or at least win a number one contenders match at Slammiversary.
No shade. Killer Kelly about to get the brakes beat off that girl. Oh my God. I can't wait to not watch that match. Oh my God. That's going to be a good match, but I think Masha Slamovich is really going to give her the might of Russia. She about to give that. Oh, she going to give it to that girl. And it's not like it's going to be for free. It is not going to be for free. But Masha Slamovich is going to hurt Killer Kelly. And Killer Kelly is going to attempt to hurt Masha back. And I'm not going to watch that.
I'm looking forward to this match. I think a lot of people are, but this could be Killer Kelly getting a win. But at the same time, she introduced this match. She's serious, but she's still doing the mind games thing. This could be a turning point for Killer Kelly. You know, it comes at the expense of Masha Slamovich. In this case, I don't think that Masha is going to be, buried if she loses.
Yeah.
I just think that this turns into a bigger feud that will eventually be going after the Knockouts World Championship. So I don't know who wins this match. I'm going to give it to Killer Kelly. I think that it's going to be very hard fought. I wouldn't be surprised if they did some sort of double count out, knockout, both women pass out thing.
I wouldn't hate that either.
It would be a little cheap to do it though. That's the only thing. I wouldn't hate it, but it feels a little cheap. So I'm going to say Killer Kelly. But I don't know. I don't know how you finish this match because it's good. Both sides look good.
I think Killer Kelly winning here. I think no matter who wins, both of these women are going to be very elevated after this. I think Killer Kelly will get a bigger bump if she does win, but I think it'll get Masha back to her pay-per-view winning ways, if you will.
And I see someone in the chat saying that it could turn into a Monsters Ball match at Slammiversary. I would do a multi-woman #1 contendership Monsters Ball match.
Maybe those two girls, Celicia Sparks and Tara Rising, come out and get they whoopings, get they comeuppance, and it gets too brutal and they stop the match.
Probably not. I feel like
I know. I was wishful thinking, trying to protect everybody.
insofar that both women are currently working, I think both of them, definitely Celicia, are working the Greektown Wrestling Loop this weekend in Ontario. So they're working London, Ontario, Toronto, Waterloo, and Hamilton. Either way,
they want you to think.
No, they're on the card. It's announced. So anyway, that'll be on Fight Plus. Go check those out. That's one of my locals. So anyway, Masha and Killer Kelly in a dog collar match. Sounds like fun. Looks like fun. Going to be fun. Trinity and Deonna Purrazzo versus Giselle Shaw and Savannah Evans. Feels like the champion and the #1 contender beat Giselle Shaw and Savannah Evans. What do you think?
I agree. I think Deonna and Trinity win. I think, though, that it's going to be a good match, especially for Savannah Evans, who impressed the hell out of me. I do see some spasms happening between Trinity and Deonna, but ultimately I think Deonna and Trinity get the pin.
I could see Shaw pinning Deonna. And again, we go back to the conversation about making it a 3-way at Slammiversary. But I think I'm just going to go with Trinity and Deonna win. And we move on to Slammiversary, and it's just one-on-one because that really is a match that deserves a one-on-one. You know, the best knockout, the best outsider that's come in a while with the most hype. So it'd be good to see that as a one-on-one match at Slammiversary. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And then finally, Frankie Kazarian takes on Edward Edwards in a match that has me saying, "Man, we could have done this 20 years ago."
That's happened.
Yeah, that's a match that's on the card.
Okay, sure. I don't know what I thought.
I'm going to triple check that this match is on the card. Hold on. Let's see. No refunds. Oh, why did it go to the Eventbrite?
No refunds. No refunds. No take backsies.
Do they have a countdown card yet?
I'm following you.
I'm asking that out loud just to fill. Okay, so it's not on the card anymore.
Oh, that's given pre-show.
Here it is. Impact Veterans Collide. Frankie Kazarian and Edward Edwards. There we go. Okay, I'm good. Countdown is the Dango Hendry match. And now they're doing Kylan King against Nevaeh. Do you remember Nevaeh?
I feel like vaguely. I probably recognize her when I see her. I couldn't point her out of a crowd.
So Nevaeh, first of all, is another Ohioan. She was also tag partners with Jessica when she was Havoc. So there's more Death Dolls lore in the story. So that's interesting. So Kylan King versus Nevaeh on the pre-show. Someone screwed up the card and they put the Digital Media Championship with it. So they had the Digital Media Championship match. And then they have I gotta bring this up. Hold on.
Poor Joel.
Whoopsie, I messed up my own thing.
Windows said not like that.
I know. I hate that my sound comes through like that. It's very frustrating.
No, it's all good. That's why my soundboard comes through.
I know, it's the worst. Okay, here we go. This is the match. You see the Digital Media Championship there.
I mean, it is for the digital. You see what Kylan King is? What is that? The knockout semantics. Semantics, all right. Dango said it's a toy prop, so technically it could be any one of those things in there. Okay.
Well, anyway, the countdown has those two matches. So Hendry and Dango is on the countdown, and Nevaeh and King are on the countdown as well. But yes, Kazarian and Eddie Edwards are there. Yes. Who wins between Kazarian and Edwards?
Kazarian. Kazarian.
I know it's a nothing match to me.
That's my Kazarian. With Dango and Joe Hendry being on the pre-show, now I think it's Joe Hendry.
I think Joe Hendry wins as well. Now that it's on, I see that it's on the pre-show. Just what it is. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow night against all odds. We'll do our post show. We don't know where yet. It'll either be on youtube.com/Fightful or it will be on youtube.com/Fightful Overbooked. Either way, check out our socials. We'll have it there. We'll announce it there. We'll have all the links and yada, yada, yada. You will not miss it. We'll see you tomorrow night for Against All Odds. Cresta Star, where can they find you? What's going on?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you can find me here every Thursday with Joel Pearl discussing all things on Impact Wrestling. The 17th of June, myself, Rick, and Iridian, your wrestle friend, will be discussing all things AEW with Collision, and your favorite Christian Mingle Punk will be there. We are live as soon as the show goes. Well, not as soon, but maybe like 10 minutes. You know the vibes. Also, Wednesdays and Fridays, except tomorrow, because I'll be live with Joel for Against All Odds. I'm live on TikTok or Twitch, Cresta Star. If that's a lot of information, the Twitter's right there. Cresta the Star, Linktree in bio. You owe it to yourself to follow Cresta Star. If not, you're a big jabroni. I don't make the rules.
It's true. Don't jabroni out.
Joel, where can the folks find you?
I'm easy to find. I'm at Joel Pearl, JOELPEARL. I am in the weeds every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over on Fightful Overbooked. SP3 joins me tomorrow as well, along with, who else is joining me? Mack Kaun is going to be joining us, and we're working on a second guest. We'll see if they come around. But either way, we have a lot of fun stuff. Speaking of Iridian, we're hoping to have her on next week on In the Weeds before the AEW Collision post show takes off, because we want everyone to have some sort of idea of who all of our guests are and all of our hosts. Cresta did an interview with the Spotlight with Jeremy and Jensen, and of course Rick Ucchino was on Coexisting After Dark with Rob and Maggie recently. So Iridian is going to be on In the Weeds because we want Iridian, so we called dibs because she's the new one.
I spoke to her today. She's funny as hell. She's
great.
So funny. She's funny.
I'm looking forward to it. So anyway, keep track of that. Other than that, again, Cresta and I, we are here every single Thursday night for your post-Impact Wrestling show. And of course, we'll be back tomorrow night on Friday night for Impact Wrestling Against All Odds post show. Where it will be, who knows? Just tune in to all the socials. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, friends beyond the binary, we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.
Bye.